everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Hey guys, how is everybody doing tonight? Happy Thursday, happy Friday Eve, like my work friend likes to say. Let's see who's all in here. We're going to go over quite a few different things here tonight, guys, because originally, if y'all saw what my insomnia was doing to me last night, it was well past midnight whenever I checked the Idaho that's the case, the Idaho case of interest site, and saw that Judge Hippler has allowed them to publicly deny the TikTok psychic Ashley Gilliard's request for sealed documentation, which is hella interesting because now we have all these other things leaking and all this stuff happening with the Consolves. So what we were going to do and what we are still going to do is go over some of her backstory and what the TikTok psychic chick is trying to say. I'm not going to get into all of the court stuff and all the things that have been filed and all of the specifics because that's very much still happening. As of like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, this crazy lady is still filing motions in court regarding the situation, completely lawyer free. She's doing this all on her own. And some people were like, give her the benefit of the doubt, hear her out. I can't, whenever her entire story changed from it being Jack D and this professor and just them to suddenly Bryan gets arrested and she's trying to flip the story around and change things. What did we learn? Truths don't change. So she's cray-cray. We're going to go over some of that stuff. We're also going to go over the Dateline information because that popped up out of freaking nowhere today. Out of freaking nowhere. I'm sorry. Where the hell are y'all getting what's supposed to be considered sealed evidence? Where are you getting camera footage, Keith Morrison man, from 1112 that shows the car allegedly and all the things that it's doing? How the frick did you get that, sirs and ma'ams? I would love to know. Love to know. I can't figure it out. Of course, I have my suspicions. You guys know all about that if you watched that video, but let's see who's here before we really get started. Hey there, Melinda. I know I have thousands more questions too. Like, why do they have this stuff? And why is it being allowed to be aired on TV? And why isn't the court stepping in to do something about it? Because how is this okay? I don't understand it. I don't understand, Grunge Baby. I feel the same. I know that's one of my suspicions. It's got to be because I know for a fact that he has it. He told Brett Norton that he had it, which is the reason why he came out and said that a lot of stuff when it came to Linda Lane was fake because the audio in Linda Lane, apparently some of it was not matching up to the audio that they could hear in this camera, in this stuff, the stuff that they had that validated to them when the girls apparently actually did get home that night. Because remember, the cops were okay with just being close enough. The family had to come out and be specific. That's important. Empathetic at the exact same time. Hey there, Comrie. How you doing? Yeah, we're going to be going over quite a few things tonight, at least 3 very specific things, because we're also going to talk about this green car situation that a lot of you guys have been bringing to my attention. I'll preface that with this. I said this a long time ago. I said this when the house got demolished, and people call me freaking crazy, okay? I'll pull up the short when we get to that I posted. I went back and recorded, what's his face? WFLA guy with the black hair, wears a suit. I don't know his name. Y'all probably know exactly what the frick I'm talking about. They were recording the demolition, and I went back and I screen recorded it. Like, it played in this freaking car with this like weird lime greenish sort of like hue to it that looked like a white Hyundai Elantra, passed by the King Roadhouse and slowed down really freaking scarily, ominously, nefariously, all the weird shit, okay? Right as the bucket was crushing down on the roof, this car slows down and just passes by as slow as it could as the house comes down. And it was just too perfect of a moment, okay? It was creepy. I made a short about it. I put it out there. People think I'm crazy because I see all these things. And then lo and behold, here comes more people talking about green car. Now, the problem I have with what's being talked about now, according to my buddy that I was just talking about this with before this, the people that are coming out and talking about this, they're not giving full credit, or at least they're not linking the original video where this information actually came from to the original creator named Mark B, who actually did apparently do a bunch of things to see that the car on Linda Lane is not white. It's actually a green color. We're going to go through his actual original videos, and I'm going to link his information in the chat so that you guys can go in there and see the original stuff. Now, again, I haven't gone over and watched these other channels' things. I just know what's being told to me. And I'm also being told that the original guy is not being given credit to, at least not with people being able to actually go over there and watch his information. And I know that that's actual factual. You don't know why I know that that's actual factual? Because these creators have thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of views in their videos. And the guy's video where this originally came from has less than 720 views. That's how I know they're not sending them over. They're not sending their audience over to the original information, which is complete and utter bullshit. And nobody should be okay with that, because whatever this person did to find this information out must have taken a lot of experience with the programming that was used. And for them to not be giving him credit and for them to not be sending people over to his channel, that shit ain't cute. That shit ain't cute. We're going to put it into that right now. And people are going to know this guy's information here in just a minute, or at least by the time we're done with this live. Well, I appreciate that, Comrie. And you know why? Because so many things happen in this case at such random times. You honestly just never know. You really just never know what's going to happen. Hey there, Jitsu. How you doing? Hey there, Carly. Cross-Examine, my song. So many people like that song. It's just a YouTube freebie. It's just in the YouTube studio. Literally anyone can just create a channel and not even do anything on it, I'm pretty positive, and still be able to access like all the music stuff. So there's a bunch of stuff back there. Hey there, Small Fries. Hey, Jackie. How you doing? Hey, Teresa. Justice for Kylo. How you doing? Hey there, Bridget. Hey there, Amanda. I'm in Texas. I'm just not telling y'all where in Texas because I can't, because my ex is cray-cray, and that's just how it just is. Hey there, Sherry and Barney at home. That sounds like just a comfy channel. It sounds like a comfy channel. How you doing? Hey there, Donna. Dateline is wild. And that's another thing. I don't know exactly how well it would work. I want to watch this when it comes out, but I want to react to it in like real time. But I can't like have it up on the screen as it's playing because they will strike my channel down before the first commercial hits. So I'm thinking about watching it on this computer because I have like multiple computers for multiple things. Pretty much everything in this house is done on separate systems. So I'm thinking about watching it on this computer, but then like going live on this computer so that we can react together at least without being able to truly watch it together, because just the information coming out so far is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Hey there, Beauty for Ashes. Lots of different things. Lots of different things. Hey there, Teresa, Redhead Mortician. How you doing? Hey, Bella. I think I said hi to you already, but oh well. Hi anyway. Hey there, RV. Hey, Kelly R. Hey there, Taylor. Hey, Suze. Mr. Mojo Ryzen. How you doing? Hey, Michelle. Hey, Kelly. So much corruption. Damn straight. Everywhere, too. Like, literally everywhere. I don't know why it has to be everywhere, but it's literally everywhere. Every freaking where. Hey there, Tay. Hey there, Alice. How you doing? Hey, Beauty. Hey, Lisa. It's Lisa, honey. Honey. You know who you need to watch? What's her freaking name? She does like skits about being like a late 80s, early 90s hairstylist. She honestly sort of reminds me a little bit of my mom, because my mom's a hairstylist and she's been a hairstylist my entire life. So 40 plus at this point of her career. Plus she's always in cheetah print. So she's really hilarious. I kind of want to like react to her videos on my other channel just because she's hilarious. But the Lisa honey just kind of reminded me of that. Hey there, Miller Time. Oh, the psychic's wild. We're going to talk about it. Hey, Jen and James, how you doing? Polka Dots, how you doing? Crystal Hearted Dragon, how you doing? Louisiana Ball, how you doing? Too Much to Handle, how you doing? Green Eyes, how you doing? Okay, guys. Hello and hello and hello and welcome, and thank you for spending your Thursday night with me. Thank you for the $19.99 super sticker, Rose. I very much appreciate it. And I missed one other one. Where did it go? Where did it go before we get started? Thank you for the $2, Victorine. Thank you very much. Member for 4 months. Thank you so much for being a member. That's amazing, and thank you very much. And thank you for the $20 super sticker. I very much appreciate it. Okay. Oh, hold on. I see something real quick. Melinda said, Jules, do you remember an interview that Steve Consolves did before the 911 call came out about Hunter trying to get the door open? He didn't straight answer the question, but we could hear KG in the background. Oh, no. I don't remember there being an interview where we've been hearing him skirt around that question on several different interviews. And I still have to go back and finish my review of the interview that he did with Drunk Turkey. I'm very aware of the things that are mentioned at the very end of it. I've already mentioned them here before and gave my opinion on it. So it's not like I'm trying to skip over it. It's literally already been acknowledged. But we need to go back and listen to it because there's a whole bunch on there and a lot of interesting stuff on there, especially when it comes to that, because Daniel let him not answer that question. News Nation chick on both of her channels, she asked the question, but didn't really make him answer it. He sort of skirted it there too. He doesn't seem to be answering the question. And it's important because they're the ones who came out here and told us that story about the door being closed. Like they're the only reason why we know that story. And that's because Christy came out and talked to Daniel. So like he says something, I think, about like him talking to Hunter, but that's almost like he's trying to skirt that Hunter maybe told them about the door being closed and maybe not just taking responsibility for the fact that maybe the Consolveses just like maybe didn't quite understand what they were being told. Maybe they misunderstood the story because that's possible too. I don't know. But I would love some truth and for, that to get figured out because the door being open or closed is a big deal, especially since we're being told that Dylan saw Xana on the ground in that 4:00 hour. It's a huge problem. Huge, huge, huge problem. Okay. First thing is first. TikTok chick. Let me show you guys why, in case you missed my little video that I posted at like almost 1:00 this morning. She is trying to get some sort of documentation from the case. I don't know what. I don't know what the frick she's trying to do. Again, I know that she does have stuff that she is currently still filing. And again, she's doing it all herself. She doesn't have an attorney. She makes a comment in one of her TikTok videos that she's practiced law for 20 plus years, but honey baby, there ain't no freaking way. Okay. There just ain't no freaking way. I don't know what's actually going on with this chick, but she's absolutely off of her freaking rocker. I'm going to show you the document and then we're going to go to a channel called Atozy because he has a lot of the clips that she had before she got rid of a lot of them or was forced to delete a lot of them. But then we're going to take a look at one of her, I guess that's actually her original TikTok page. Now, apparently she made a secondary page. I couldn't find it. Girl, I know. Look at this. Look at the scent. This blueberry, lavender, chamomile. Amazon just has all kinds of lavender things. I've just been kind of going cray-cray because I went and bought like my lavender sleepy time tea. And then I've been basically just trying to buy like everything lavender on there that I see. And this came in today. Can't even see it, can you? There it is. Yeah. It smells so good. It smells so good. But yes, moisturized. Hemp's is the best. Hint, hint. Hemp's. Maybe you should sponsor the channel. Anyway, I like Atozy. Atozy does a really, really good job of telling like the information when it comes to the court case. But I wish that he would stop calling Jack Ducour just one of the girls' friends, because it really takes away like the importance of the fact that they were calling her ex-boyfriend who lived right next door, who they saw earlier that night frantically 10 times back to back. I really wish he wouldn't just call Jack the friend. But other than that, yeah, like I don't really think he's paying too much attention to the like background or the story itself. He's really more just like out here talking. Plus, she's also tried to sue him. Like she's come out and tried to sue Charlie Penguin guy and Atozy and iNabber and another guy. And I'm just like, how can you be out here trying to like sue people for just reporting on the crap that you're actually out here actually doing in real life, while you're mad that a girl is suing you for the crap that you're literally making up out of literally nothing? Like this woman's story is crazy. I'm going to show you. See, I couldn't find it, Bella. People told me this yesterday or early this morning, whenever I posted that video, and I went back. And as far as I could tell, she doesn't have any insignia in like the title or the thumbnail that would let me know which live it was. So if anybody knows the exact live that it was, I can go in and like, scroll through until I get to where she's at. But there was just no way that I was going to go search through all those lives to try to find it. It just wasn't going to happen. a while. 8 years. 8 years. This really kind of like the only real boyfriend she'd pretty much like ever had. So there's that, which is pretty important. A lot of people were really sort of like eyeballing Jack, which I can completely understand. But I also feel like he just didn't want to deal with his drunk ex-girlfriend. Honestly, that's really for real how I feel about it. Anyway, she was trying to, TikTok psychic chick apparently is trying to get information that is sealed. She's trying to get sealed records. And that's a no-no because she's not an attorney. She's not, anything with the case. Now, I didn't show her address in the video that I did, but since she's representing herself as her own attorney, then I'm assuming that this is an address that she has for those business things, which is why they were okay or felt like it was okay to put it on here because they're responding like you would to an attorney. But look at the state. And what were we just saying? That it was really strange that both Kaylee and now the younger sister were both trying to do whatever they could to get as far away from Idaho as possible because they both were going to end up here for some reason. And again, Kaylee very last minute decided, I don't want to be a teacher anymore, even though that's been wanting, I've been wanting to be a teacher my entire life. I'm just going to decide at the very end of my college career to completely change courses and go into something completely not related to teaching whatsoever just to get me the hell out of here is how I feel about it. And I really feel like that kind of stuff might be important, because you just never know. Anyway, we're going to go and listen to, where'd he go? I had Atosi's videos up and now I took them down. So let me get him back up here. He has a whole playlist and I'm not going to play, obviously, the parts where he's talking. I'm going to play the part, you're going to hear him talking like in between things or whatever, because he does react to like videos or whatever, but she's literally insane. I don't care. She is literally insane. She literally goes from saying that Rebecca Schofield, who's a professor, was madly in love with Kaylee and wanted to leave her husband to be with her because she was just like yearning to be with her so much, but she didn't know how to like handle it. And Kaylee just wasn't doing what she needed from her. So she decided to handle the entire situation, hire Jack to sacrifice something in order to live his dream because this freaking history professor can just snap her fingers and make Jack's life just everything he's ever thought of in his entire wildest dreams if he goes and offs his ex-girlfriend. That's the narrative this psycho is out here saying, okay? That's the narrative. And then she's like, they met in a forest, and she asked Jack, what are your dreams? What do you aspire to be? You can do anything that you want to. And I'm just like, so this is fanfic. So this is fanfic? Yes. 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 That's what it sounds like. It sounds like fan fiction that she wrote out, trying to sound like she wrote Twilight. It's the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard. And then whenever Bryan Kohberger was arrested, regardless of how you feel, regardless of how you feel about the situation, about the evidence, about the defendant, none of the things, this chick came out and said, just because they arrested Bryan Kohberger does not mean that I was wrong. I said she hired somebody. Yeah, you said she hired Jack because she was going to fulfill his every wish. So once Bryan Kohberger was arrested, she flipped the switch and said that because Jack wasn't making up his mind on if he was going to do it or not, that she also hired Bryan Kohberger for like just in cases. Whenever the original story was that they were calling, Kaylee and Maddie were originally calling Jack's phone back to back because they thought they saw something and thought that it was him by intuition. So they were calling Jack's phone to see if it was actually him that they saw outside their house that night. And that's why he didn't answer because, oh my God, he got caught. And so he had to step back and really rethink how he was going to do this. This lady is certifiably insane. She's insane. We're going to listen to some of this because Otosi has a bunch of them on there. He doesn't have all of them. I didn't have time to look too far because I have life to live and job and all the things. So if I can go back and find somebody who has like all the parts from before the crazy, that would be beautiful because I would like to dig in just for funsies on, Friday, Saturday night with a glass of wine and just, indulging in the ridiculous. Why not one day just take a little bitty break and just go down that lane? I don't see why not. It'd be pretty entertaining. Apparently there's 25 videos from before the insanity and altogether well over 100. And a lot of them she's just doubling down on everything. She's doubling down on everything, but she's not providing proof or doing anything about anything when it comes to anything besides running her mouth. And then whenever, at some point during the defamation case, all this shit talking that she was doing on TikTok, she didn't put any of that into the courtroom because she just wasn't responding to the defamation case whatsoever. So by default, she lost. And so because the judge defaulted her out of it, she's like, oh, I think I'm going to go to Bali for a little while, but my kid doesn't want to go. So I need somebody else to come with me, like, an adult. This chick is like the pink sauce lady. She's like the pink sauce lady. She's cray cray. Cray cray. Okay. So we're going to go through, let's see, where's that? It's really just kind of like the very first video that he did of her because there's a lot when it comes to like just the storyline of the beginning storyline that she tries to like spout out here. It's absolutely wild. So I'm going to go through this. When she's off the screen and he's talking, I'm getting off of it and going forward because I don't know how this dude plays his game, but I play by YouTube's rules. And if he tries to not to, then I'm not going to even entertain it. I swear on everything. I'll just delete it and not care. I don't know how a lot of these people act whenever it comes to you reviewing their stuff. I really just don't know. If he's all pissy about her trying to sue him, then maybe he won't care about me looking at this through his channel. I'm sure he really don't. He's been here forever, so he knows YouTube rules. So again, we're going to go ahead and watch just the clips that he has in here of her actual little pieces. Be prepared because she's wild and she's so serious about herself. And let me see, hold on where this is at so y'all can get like the best size of this that it'll allow me anyway. Like halfway through is probably fine, honestly. Okay. See, okay, I'm going to address this now, and then I'll address it again later when it comes to the green car. I understand that most of you guys are seeing it from Lana's channel. This is the channel where this information originally came from. This is the video that came out 3 weeks ago. This is him talking about the green car over a year ago. So when it comes to the green car information, I understand a lot of y'all are getting it from Lana's channel. A lot of you are seeing it over there on Jay Embry's channel. We're going to go to the source because this is the guy that I've been told a few times in comments and was verified by my buddy that this Mark guy is the one who originally came up with it, who originally found it. So when it comes to us going off of it, this is the information. This is whose channel that we're going to be watching. But for now, let's get back to crazy. Let's get back to crazy. Let's take a look. Let it play. I didn't switch it back. Hold on a minute. We're going to take a look together, not ahead of time. Hold on.
So in these TikToks by Ashley, she talks about a professor that went to the school of Rebecca. Look at this together.
Okay.
Before I begin this Who is Rebecca Schofield series and her motives for the University of Idaho students, let's just dispel the rumors. No, I do not know Rebecca Schofield. I'm not connected to her in any kind of way. I'm not emotionally tied to her or any of the victims. I'm not connected to anyone. I have no reason to lie on her.
Oh, I saw it. I missed something. Holy crap-a-moly. 5 memberships. Thank you, Michelle. I very much appreciate that. I'm sorry that I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is he? Okay, Mark is Lana's mod and resource person. That's fine, but I'm being told that the links and stuff for his channel are not present. That's an issue. So hopefully she fixes that, or that might be wrong. Sorry if that's wrong, but the original stuff should definitely be linked. Some of y'all want it right now. I have no issue. No issue. Here you go. This is the guy with the car. And this is the channel that is the playlist for TikTok Psycho Lady. Oh, sorry, Psychic Lady that we're watching right now. Oh, thank you for the 149 super sticker, Catherine. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, and the $4. Deidre. Oh, how do you say that? I had it in my head. I used to have a friend in elementary school that her name was the same. How did I used to say it? Oh, I don't want to say it wrong. Oh my gosh, I don't want to say it wrong. I hate pronouncing things wrong. Thank you very much for the super sticker. It reminds me of my friend from back in middle school. I mean, in elementary school, and I can't remember how I used to say her name. It's really annoying, but I very much appreciate it anyway. Yeah, 3 weeks ago. Yeah, his video's from 3 weeks ago, but he also had one from a year ago. Because we talked about this before. We talked about Deirdre. Yes, that's how you say it. That sounds right. Yeah. So you just have to spell it differently so I can figure it out. Okay, yeah, there you go. Okay. Oh, well, thank you very much. And I figured out how to say your name right. That's awesome. So yeah, I just forgot what the frick I was saying. Yeah, a year ago, there's also one on there about the green car. And like I said, whenever the house was coming down, that car ominously just slowed down right at the right time. And it was really, 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 really creepy. I made a mention of it. It creeped me out so much that I, while it was still happening, went back, recorded it, put a video out. I'm pretty sure it's a short. But it was creepy. So I'm glad that people are seeing the car, but it's definitely something that's not a new subject. I'm glad people are seeing it, but it's not new. Let's get back to Crazy Lady.
No, I did not just see her picture and name on the University of Idaho history page and then automatically feel it was her. This is not a feeling. This is knowledge. I have no feeling.
Knowledge from where?
I did a reading when I saw Rebecca Schofield on the history department's page on Rebecca Schofield and her connection. I also did readings on some of the other people and their connection to the University of Idaho.
Oh, man.
See, she just said, I didn't see her on the history page on the school's website and just decided it was her. It sounds like that's exactly what you did. Actually, factually sounds exactly like what you did.
What came out on their reading is how they responded to the crimes and how they were feeling about it. What came out in Rebecca Schofield's reading was how she implemented it, how she planned it, and why.
This is not a feeling. This is knowledge.
Yeah, ladies, cray.
We get, because it gets pretty wild.
So I asked the spirit, how did Rebecca Schofield and Kaylee meet? Rebecca Schofield and Kaylee connected because she needed an advisor. She was about to.
How does she know this?
This part right here. And honestly, the only like little bitty bit of salt this actually does have is the fact that Kaylee was taking general studies, so it wouldn't have been too out of the realm for this professor to have been one of Kaylee's professors. Now, I don't know this as a fact. I have no idea about this as a fact, but this guy says that the police came out and already made a statement claiming that Rebecca Schofield didn't teach any of the students. None of them. So I don't see how, unless a professor and a student were actually in a classroom together and actually had that sort of like assigned relationship for the year, why would some random professor that a student wasn't actually taking a class for be a mentor? I mean, maybe that's not too out of the realm. I don't know. I didn't go to a college like on campus like this. Everything I did was online because I was working and kids and all the things at the time. So I don't know how it works on all that stuff. So maybe it wouldn't be too far-fetched. But according to everything that we've seen so far, there was no connections whatsoever, class-wise or any other way-wise, when it came to this professor lady and everything that she's over here claiming. Like none, literally at all. None, zero zip, nada. Thank you for the $9.99, Rose. I very much appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Personal growth, the next steps. Also, she needed resolution for anything or anyone that was getting in the way of her ability to graduate. So she went to Rebecca Schofield for advice.
And see, that doesn't even make sense anyway, because we were told that Kaylee was graduating early. So who would be literally in her way if she was already in some sort of like accelerated graduation type situation before all this happened? No. So
initially they met on an advisor mentor basis. So then as the relationship...
She's getting sued over this, by the way. This is why we're covering this. But
yeah, she's getting like hella sued over this. Like hella sued. I'm trying to get past the parts where he's talking a lot because I don't want like any issues with it.
About her sexuality.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, is that Rebecca Schofield is apparently madly head over heels in love with Kaylee. And basically she tries to turn it to where whatever she needed from Kaylee wasn't doing it. And so she decided to basically get some sort of weird revenge. The whole thing honestly makes no sense. The whole thing honestly makes zero zip nothing sense whatsoever. It's literally like the worst fanfic ever because there's no plot and everything keeps switching up and none of it. You can't track it. You can't track it. 20 gifted memberships. I've got something to say. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And congratulations to those of you who have the membership. That's awesome.
During this time period, Rebecca Schofield is in a dreamlike state. She's opened up that passion that she had suppressed for women that was now placed on Kaylee.
So she's saying she has some sort of like magical passion just open up, and it's what caused her to do all of this insane stuff. No, lady, you're absolutely wild. You're wild.
But whatever, okay.
So at this point, she's talking.
Oh, and you know what's funny? And the reason why I even started watching Atozi's channel, I don't know if it's Atozi or Atazi. Anyway, that rug behind him was my kid's play rug. Like, we had that exact same rug for like years that my son would play with his toys on. It looked like crap because, you know, kids, his is flawless. But that's what got my attention. One time I was scrolling and it just like auto played one of his videos and I was like, holy crap, that's my rug.
To Kaylee about her desire for her, but also her desire for women and how she suppressed those desires because of tradition and societal viewpoints. That she's put out work.
Where is this information coming from?
Yeah, like it's just like she literally randomly just like picked some blonde lady that looked familiar or at least similar at least to the victims and just decided to ruin her life. And not even like pretend and be like, oh, this is just like something, because there's a lot of psychics on here. And it's not like I just don't like pay attention to it. I don't believe in 99.99999% of that stuff. But the CIA has admitted that they use remote viewing for a lot of things. And there's a lot of stuff that the human brain is very, very capable of, that the government does things to you and puts in your water and your food and all these other things to stop you. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's literally being talked about in the government right now. There's a reason why the health guy that Trump put in place, the Robert Kennedy guy, is trying to get all these nasty dyes and stuff out of here. There's a reason why Red 40 has been bad for you and your children for years and years and years. None of this is fake. All the craziness of humans absolutely positively losing their ever-loving freaking minds and losing their freaking humanity literally started whenever we started buying food off of the shelf, which hasn't even actually been going on for very freaking long, if you really want to be for real. These stores are not a very old situation. So you really have to really wonder just how many people are out here really trying to be real and really trying to open up their minds, because I believe there really are some of them out there that really are trying to get on that level. But then we have people like this, and it's just it's ignorance is what it is, because she can't even admit that she's wrong. She can't even try to move with information. She's got a child that she was trying to drag out of the country because she decided not to say anything, so the judge ruled against her. Apparently no attorneys are going to work with her, or she claims she can't afford an attorney. I'm not really quite sure what's going on here for this to have been going on this long and she's still filing stuff. And she's calling it a frivolous lawsuit. Her herself calling it a frivolous lawsuit. That's insane. This woman's wild.
LGBTQ community, but she was unable to follow.
Terrible tragedy happened. Let me make a fanfic on
to follow it in her own
how this tragedy happened.
And she knew she was lesbian. But
does that not sound like something that Howard Bloom whatever would be all over? That's the kind of crap that I think that he thinks about when it comes to cases like this, just because the creepy old vibe he gives me.
She didn't have the heart to live that life out loud. She said that she was so introspective that she lost her connection to her husband, and that she needed to focus on her finding her truth in her healing. So being with Kaylee will allow herself to navigate this truth. But it would be hard for her to make a drastic change and just to leave her husband to be with Kaylee. So this experiment with Kaylee will help her to walk the middle path and have both.
Bro, just become an author. Don't do that.
See, like, how is this making any sense? You want to be with her so bad. You can't connect with your husband anymore because you're just in love with this girl so much. She's controlling your every move and your every thought, and you just can't. And then you just hire her ex-boyfriend to offer. And people believe this. There's literally people telling me to give this girl a chance. I'm sorry. In what reality do you see me doing that? It's just not going to happen.
Why are you doing this?
It's happening right now.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so is this off
Right
some
now.
tarot cards?
So then finally, Rebecca Schofield is clear about what she wants, and she wants to be with Kaylee. She had a deep desire for her. It feels like love, infatuation.
I understand why this Rebecca Schofield person is suing her, because
Yeah, I agree. I agree. She needs to be sued. And I don't understand why she's continuing this. I don't understand. Yeah. Yeah, this has been going on for 2 years. She was putting videos and stuff out this before Bryan Kohberger was arrested. So yeah, she started on this shit early. Welcome, Gladiator. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Scam artist. But I don't know. Is she even getting money for doing this crazy stuff? Like TikTok made her, like, let me show y'all her, okay. This is the channel. Look, she literally has a picture of her and Rebecca Schofield on her profile picture. How freaking immature is that? Like, that makes you, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't be able to just keep my hands to myself if I was Rebecca Schofield and this woman was doing all this stuff. She's better than me with these lawsuits. I'm sorry. I'm going to be freaking honest right now. For real. All right. Taking a flight to Houston, where this chick is from Idaho and just handling business, would be a hell of a lot cheaper. And people would bond you out, chick. I'm just saying. This doesn't make any sense. Why this has been allowed to continue for 2.5 years. And this woman's reputation and everything about her has been bombarded. I mean, people know that it's not true, but there's still that group of weirdos, because they're everywhere. In every case, there's that group of weirdos that just don't know how to think like real people with brains. And they believe this crap, and they're harassing her, and they're harassing her family. Not the psychic, harassing Rebecca Schofield's family. Harassing her and her family and everyone that knows her and everybody that they can get a hold of, when all she did was nothing but respond to somebody who was lying about her. It's more than slander. I mean, damn. She told Lana that she was making money on personal readings from TikTok, and now she lost all her business because people are realizing chick don't know shit. Chick don't know shit. Yeah, this chick is crazy. She's insane. Ash is God in the flesh. I'm the goat. She literally thinks that she's like something for real special. Well, see, TikTok literally got rid of her other stuff. I don't know if this channel was completely taken off and then was able to come back or what. But as you can see, like this stuff starts like down here. And then this is the one where she reacts. Like this is an old reaction that she reposted of her being a stupid smartass about the lawsuit. A lot of this stuff was all deleted. Like all of the original videos are gone. Like Atozi plays like number 1 and then he pops all the way over to number 8. He says he has all of them. So he's just showing like a few of them, which is fine because I'm not trying to do too much right now with this chick. I'm just curious as to why she's trying to file something in the official case, trying to get documents. Now, apparently she said something about how, oh, all the proof about Rebecca Schofield being involved is in the sealed documents. Miss Ma'am, you can't even keep your fanfic story straight. Your plot keeps changing. Just stop. She's insane. Crazy ass bee. Damn right. Crazy ass bee. Now, what I just said about flying from Idaho down to Texas to handle all business, that's me and what I would do. I'm not requesting or suggesting or saying somebody should do that. I'm just saying 2.5 years dealing with this shit, I'd have probably ended it in about a couple weeks. Okay. It was just, she must have. She drank a whole gallon. Hey, Ray. This is a lady named Ashley Gilliard who is coming out and claiming that this white lady right here in her profile picture, this is so rude right here, like the simple fact that she's got the audacity to do this right here is wild. She's coming out and claiming that this lady, Rebecca Schofield, who's a professor, a history professor at the University of Idaho, was madly in love with Kaylee, and somehow or another, everything went wrong, and she hired Jack Jacor to take Kaylee's life as a sacrifice because this history professor was somehow just a okay, I'm going to say something, but don't take it the wrong way. Okay, just a lowly professor could snap their fingers and make all of Jack's dreams come true like she was some genie in a bottle in disguise, is my point. She's just a professor. What kind of dreams are you going to be able to snap and make come true for Jack that he can't do himself? So the whole storyline makes no sense because you're not like some music mogul, okay? Okay? You're not like somebody with money. You're not somebody with real connections. You're just some professor. So if you were going to try to make up some sort of story about this stuff, she could have at least used like Scott Green, who has like an actual connection to the school and high standing and has hierarchy, instead of just using some professor. You know what I mean? Like, it just makes no sense, but it got millions of people's attention. Millions of people's attention. And I feel so bad for this professor because she's been having to deal with this for nothing. She never even taught these kids. She just happened to be teaching at the school where these kids also happen to be going to as well. That's literally all that happened here. And this woman just went and looked at the directory and said, that's the one. She ain't going to do nothing. That's the one. 2.5 years later. So gross. No conscious. No conscious. Thank you for the 28 gifted memberships in Miller Time 66. I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, enough about this psycho. I'm done with her. Let's talk about this car. Okay, we're going to switch it up. We're going to move over to Dateline. This is my second video that I posted. Now, I have other stuff like ready to go, but stuff keeps happening, and I've actually been sort of able to keep up. But now that I've been able to keep up and get the more up-to-date stuff out the second that it's happening, my stuff that I needed to catch up on is now having to wait because I'm trying to be on time for stuff. So it'll be coming and going. I just don't want to put a bunch of stuff out all at one time and end up with like 4 videos a day or 4 postings a day, because to me, that's just way too much. The most I'd like to do is 3, and that's only if something is like urgent. Like I already had a plan and then something happened and there's my number 3 because something happened right then and there. More than that is just too much, in my opinion. Way too much. I'll figure it out. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this because again, I don't understand how they got this information. I have no clue who is leaking information. I don't know if this is a prosecutor's office leak. I don't know. Now, there were some people in the comments that were trying to say that this was an older video. No, it's not, because the information about the selfie is in here. And it's interesting because they're literally claiming that the selfie was taken right after a phone call that Kohberger apparently had with his mom, according to this. What I want to know is how the hell do they know that? How do they know that? See, it's one thing for them to be coming out and maybe trying to push some information that maybe the Consolves gave them, because we know already Instagram is a Consolves narrative. Okay. We also know, well, I mean, honestly, most of the stuff coming out in this is a Consolves narrative. But we also know that, and the videos are there. The videos are there. Just go back and scroll, or go to the search thing and type in Brat Norton, or just scroll. Okay, there's a whole playlist for everything we've ever done in this case. It will be there. The conversations when it came from what we found out between Brat Norton and Steve Consolves. Okay. Now there's also, I don't know if Melissa Jade, I think she went live tonight talking about the Idaho case tonight too. I need to go back and check on her channel to see if she still has this, but she had Brat Norton come up on her channel one night in a live and answer a bunch of questions, because Brat Norton released thousands and thousands of lines of text messages between her and Steve Consolves, all of which I still very much have in my folder right here. And yeah, a lot of things were clarified, verified, all the things. One of the things that came out, and it was before that, but the verification that it was authentic came out in these text messages, was that they meaning the Consolveses, had seen footage that was more authentic and more close to the house than anything that we were getting and hearing and seeing on the Linda Lane stuff. So what Steve Consolves said, and Brett Norton ended up sort of coming out and like honestly admitting that she had leaked some information. And that's because of this. It's because Steve Consolves told her that the audio on the more official, closer to the house cameras that he has does not have the exact kind of audio that Linda Lane has. And he's saying that the Linda Lane audio is not trustworthy. So most of us just assume that he was accurate on that. I mean, I feel lots of different ways about the Consolveses, but we all know that they were really kind of on it really fast. And they're the ones, again, that came out and validated whenever the girls got home. I don't even know, honestly, why I have this on still. I'll have to put it back on in a minute. They're the ones who validated whenever the girls actually did get home. So they saw all those things. That's why I kind of question, like, do they actually know whenever Xana and Ethan actually did get home that night because they watched those cameras, but they're just not allowed to say anything about anyone but Kaylee? I really question that, because if you're watching those cameras, I'd be watching the cameras. You know what I mean? So when it comes to this, the timestamps on this are pretty interesting. What I want to do is I'm going to bring up, I guess, the original PCA, but also I'm going to bring up the newer information when it comes to the make and model of the car, because there's some other timestamps on that one, or at least more detailed timestamps on that one. The reason is because there's a 407 timestamp on here, and I could have sworn that they said that the car came in at 404. I'm trying to look real quick. Look with me. I'm trying to look real quick at the PCA to like make sure, because I saw the 407 timestamp in the. Let me see if there's. Oh, I just hit the microphone. Is there a 07 anywhere in here? No. I saw a 407 timestamp of a car like pulling in. It's not here. On the one that was played by Dateline, if there's no 07 in this biatch. So who's the car coming in at 07? You're okay. Y'all are gonna see it in just a second. Okay. Watch the timestamps. These back on. Okay. I'm going to slow this down just a little. Share this tab. Can y'all see that? Okay. I'm going to slow it down to this. Get over there. Okay. So this is 333. Let me see. Hold on. I want to see. Is there a 33 timestamp in this one? No. So when it comes to 33, the 33 timestamp, in the PCA, it has starting at 329 and ending at 420 is whenever they see suspect vehicle 1 going in and out of King Road. So 29 and 33 is what they're trying to say. Let me see. Where's that other order? Hold on a minute. I want to show all of the information as we're going through it. Because that 407 timestamp was weird. We're supposed to be seeing the car coming into the neighborhood for the last time at 404 from what we just saw, not seeing a 407 on there whatsoever, and everything that we've been told so far. Let me type in make right here, so it'll show me just the last one for the make and model. Oh, you know what? Maybe not the last one. No, this one's only 5 pages. I need the one from before that. Y'all might hear my oldest son. Him and his friends are playing some game, and they're loud, you know, because they're big teenagers with big voices. Let's see. Okay. Right here. Okay, so they have 333 as a time on here. So I guess they're trying to say that it was here at, let's make this a little bit bigger. And again, this is the paperwork from the state, right? State's response to defendants. Okay. At 329, they're saying that it was like over here. At 330 over here, and I guess it comes in here at some point, and then at 333, they're trying to say that it comes back in again. 329, da-da-da-da-da-da. See, I don't know. These, okay, so it was at this location at 3:30 and 3:33, but also at this location at 3:30. So passing by this way, maybe that way, and then that doesn't make sense. You can't be going in this way at 3:30 and take 3 minutes to turn into this direction. No, dumb. Okay, let's go back to this. Again, this is 3:33. Oh, I'm gonna actually mute it because his voice sounds creepy. So this is 3:33. It's leaving? What? So at 3:33, it's leaving, but at 3:29, it's all the way over here? Are y'all seeing that? That doesn't make sense. Okay. So it's leaving at 3:33, coming back at 3:38. What does this say? Where's 38 right here? So where was it for 5 minutes? Because it doesn't have a time in between that. It has 3:29. It's back over here somewhere again. Wait, that was just coming in. Damn, that was fast. You saw how fast they switched that? Okay, so it's 3:33 and 06, 07, and then goes to 3:38 and 36 coming in. Damn, this editing they did right here is like almost freaking flawless. Damn, they're really good. No wonder they get paid the big bucks. Did y'all see that freaking edit? That was beautiful. Just right there in the middle, just bam. Okay, 38 and 37. You've got to catch it because damn, they're good. 38, 39. And right there, it switches from 38, 39 to 40, 30. Right there. So it's saying that at 38, it came in and went this way. And then, okay, so that, see, what we really need to do, and I don't want to do it on a live because the way my screens work, I can't show split screen on like my screen recording thing. So I'm gonna have to do it in like a video and play all of it together and see how it connects somewhere, because some of these seems like he's time traveling. Okay, so 40, 32, 40, 33, 34, and then at 56 and 27. This right here, to me, would probably be the freaking DoorDash, because the DoorDash was dropped off at 3:59. Now, we don't know what kind of vehicle it was. I know that Steve makes a really odd comment in the interview on Drunk Turkey, saying that he's really surprised. I know that other people have done it, guys, but I don't just take other people's words for it. I do my own stuff. That's why we're going to go off Mark's videos and not those other channels' videos. But yes, I know other people are talking about it. Anyway, this is really just odd that he's made a statement saying that he doesn't know if that year car will even have a GPS. And I'm thinking like, okay, that's definitely a sentiment to it being an older vehicle. But at this point in 2025, how much older? Because stuff has pretty much had like GPS and electronic stuff in it since like the early 2000s. Yeah. Like early 2000s. So I definitely feel like it's unusual at this point, at least in my opinion, to see vehicles that old out there. On top of that, I'm pretty positive that DoorDash has a stipulation for the type of vehicle that you can have. I could be wrong on that. But I remember there was like this bonus thing whenever you signed up on a rebate site called Swagbucks, that if you signed up for DoorDash, that you would get like $100 bonus whenever you did your first delivery. So I went through the entire sign up process, and whenever I signed up, now it's been like 6-7 years. This was like pre-COVID, I think, that I signed up for this with this rebate thing. So don't go looking for it because it doesn't exist anymore. But anyway, I remember there being a stipulation. Like you couldn't have cars that were like certain years old or whatever, like for safety reasons and stuff like that. So I don't know if it still does that anymore. Cars can't be older than 10 years. Well, then I don't understand his statement and saying that he doesn't know if a car that old would have GPS, because I'm like, it's 2025. I'm pretty sure every car does, like everywhere. So it didn't really make a lot of sense. That really didn't make sense. Okay, so this is 3628 cars coming back in. I feel like this is the DoorDash. See, this is the car that they showed us in the screenshots here, isn't it? Oh, load. I didn't go too damn fast. Load and get your life together. It is. Yeah, arriving right here. I'm not going to, I got to flip it. I can't just say, I'm not going to flip it. I'll flip it. Arriving right here is literally what we just saw. That's like the, right here. It's like the only one with that sharp of a, like, right here. See, that's like the only one where you can actually really see the angle of the window. That's the one that we have down. Oh, I didn't switch it. I wish this automatically switched, because then I wouldn't be, you know, showing you guys absolutely nothing at all and sounding like a crazy person. We'll do this one more time. See right there? How like you can actually make out the shape. That's like the only one that you can really like do that with is that one. I feel like this is probably the freaking DoorDash. Look at the time. And then it pops to 4:07. What's up with this 4:07? Anybody know? Anybody know what's up with the 4:07? Apparently, according to the police, 20,000. That came out the cops' mouths, and it's recorded. It was on the news. 4:07. The PCA doesn't tell us shit about 4:07. I just control F'd that whole thing and showed you it didn't pop up anything about 4:07. So let's go to this one and see if we can see what they're talking about when it comes to 4:07, because the PCA says 4:04. Okay, so this looks a little backwards. Maybe. So whenever they say entering the area at 4:04, so they have the blue drop right here, and they're showing that at 4:04. But then they have 4:07 a.m. They have the drop literally right at the crime scene. No, that's wrong too. They have this all screwed up. I hate the way they did this. Crime scene and this dot right here don't need to be the same color. That's what's making this a little bit confusing, because these are not color coded to where it makes any sense. This yellow drop right here should be over here where it says Linda Lane. Crime scene. Okay, y'all can't even see it. I'm just talking my ass off. I need to find something better than Spectrum. I need something that flows with me as I switch tabs, because we're in 2025 and there's no reason why AI can't do that by now. I should be able to switch what I'm talking about without having to focus on the fact I've got to switch the freaking tab anyway. You see how this is blue with the times, and this is the king and queen little three-way turnaround thingy-mabobber they have in the PCA, and the little drop is blue. This right here is supposed to be where the actual crime scene is, but they have crime scene labeled in red with the actual times and the dot drop in yellow, while yellow is over here for Linda Lane. The entire thing is color-coded incorrectly. Why? Why? This is the law enforcement I'm supposed to trust. They can't even color code correctly? They can't even color code correctly? How freaking sad. Okay. What we're seeing on this camera is this car pulling in at 4:07. They're not giving us anything for 4:04. We go to 3:56, and it goes from 3:56 to 4:07. So where's the 4? That's not even correct, because at 4:47, they're trying to say 4:47. At 4:07, they're trying to say that the car was already at the crime scene in this map. But in the footage, the car is actually pulling onto Queen Road at 4:07. There's nothing at all when it comes to 4:04 on that camera. And the location that they're trying to say the 4:07 is, again, incorrect. This is actual, like, evidence that's being submitted. What is my dog doing? Go around. Can you calm it down, please, sir? Please and thank you. Anyway. These times are off. Like, this whole thing is screwed up. No way. People are pulling the videos from about the green car. Lana's video from 2 hours ago about the green Elantra was pulled. I have Mark's channel up right here. So maybe we should just go ahead and review this then. Or at least maybe see where he shows that it's green. I'll just go like this. Because I don't want, unless it's him. I don't know. Look, I didn't watch their video, so Pav's video. I have 2 dogs. I have brother and sister border collie dogs that we adopted from PetSmart from the adoption center that were taken from a home that had like 40 something plus animals in it. They were a litter of like 5 or 6. They were the last 2 that were there. She's the runt. She's really teeny. When I got there, she was standing over him, scared to death, but he was even more scared, and she was trying to be brave and protect him, and there was like no way that I was going to leave them both there. So I took them both. And now we've had them for like 4 years, and whenever I got them, they had kennel cough, and they sounded like psychotic geese for like 2 weeks, but I cured them, and now they're perfectly awesome. And now I'm done talking about my dog. This is crazy. So this is the thing though. I have a question before we go further in this, because I'm not going to deal with this dude. So I'm going to ask now. In their videos of talking about this, did they show this guy's original footage? Put a 1 for yes, put a 2 for no. Who is she? Lana? Who is Noah? Okay, so they did show the original stuff. The question is, are the videos getting pulled that are talking about the green car because the guy who found that the car was green is striking everybody for using his stuff? Or is somebody else coming out and getting them removed because somebody doxed somebody's personal info? Okay, so Mark's totally okay with it. It's the owner of the car. Okay. No. Well, I mean, I'll say his first name. I don't know who he was. And I don't plan on showing anything that has anything to do with the person. I don't even know who the frick that is. Okay. Well, anyway, we're going to look right here and see like where he shows that it pops up green. And then I'm going to just show you guys the short that okay, see, that's what it was. God, why did he do that though? Why does he have that guy's freaking license plate in there? I'll have to go back in and clip that piece out. See, I'm not watching this on here. He shouldn't even have had that freaking dude's plate in there. That's a mistake. She should have. If Lana knows Mark, then Lana should have told him. I mean, that's not being rude towards you whatsoever. But she should have told him not to, like, make sure there's no personal information, because that's a big no-no. That's a big no-no. You can't do that. Okay. So what I'm going to show you guys instead is I'm going to show you, let me see. I'm going to show you guys the short where I have the car, because he can't tell me shit about showing my own video that was actually from a live stream of the house being taken down. Okay. I like never post shorts. Literally ever. The last one was February 8th. And before that, November 20th. Right here. January 1st, 2024. I posted a short. I did a full video. When was the full video posted? Because I talked about this crap in the full video. And then pulled it out and made a short. Ooh, white walls. Where's that? Where was this? My old office. This is whenever I was using my walk-in closet as my office, right whenever we moved into my house. That's what that was. That's what this was. My face is skinnier there. Okay, this premiered on December 31st of 2023. And okay, I'm like, we're pretty much just like showing it right up in the front, I think. So as you guys, I don't really need to hear myself talk though. That's a bit strange. Okay, so here's the car coming down. Is this where it's going to show it? Oh my God. It's going to be like over here on this side whenever it shows it. Do I show the full thing? Tell me I showed the full thing. Tell me I did. Why am I just talking? Why am I talking so much? And I'm talking again in an edit. Where's the whole full video? Is this it? I better have showed the full video. Oh, look, there it is. And look if that damn car doesn't look green. Do y'all see that? Do y'all see that? Does that car not look green? Look at this. And watch. I didn't do shit. This car slowed down like that. I did not do that. I did not do that. I took this from watching it on WFLA with, I think his name is Jeff. Is that his name? I don't even know. I don't even know. I took this from that recording. I didn't slow shit down. Green AF, bro. I didn't slow nothing down. Watch this corner. Watch over there. Watch right here. Can you see that? The car is coming into view. Watch. I can't make it any bigger than I am. Actually, you know what? Yes, I can. I'm going to take myself away. Y'all just pay attention, okay? I am going to play it at normal speed, and then I am going to go back and I'm going to slow it down so that you guys can see it all the way through. But this is, again, premiered December 31st, 2023. This is from whenever the house was demolished. Okay, let me get me off of her. How do I do that? See it? Green AF. Green AF. No, it can't be reflection. You know why it can't be reflection? Because the sun was barely coming up. They started before the sun came up that morning, broski. I know. That's what I'm hearing. You're welcome. Definitely green. And I didn't do nothing. I recorded the damn thing and put it where I needed to put it. That's it. And now everyone can see it. And we've been really questioning, even before this, we were questioning for a long time what the true color of the car was, because these are black and white cameras. And granted, there can only be so many shades that it could actually be. We have to be logical about this, because there's programs that they can take the way that the white is shaded in the black and white, and they can tell some sort of reversal programming, math that they can do to where they can tell what the original color might have been as close as they possibly can. There's ways they can figure that out. So whenever a car looks grayish or whitish or whatever, when it comes to black and white camera, it could be a few different shades, but still a few different shades. It could be several. So we don't really know. They're saying white because it looks white on the camera, but they don't really know that, do they? They don't really know that. They don't really know that. I just find it crazy. All of this is just insane. Yeah. It's definitely green. It is definitely green. So, let's see. What else did they say without me having to go back to it in this Dateline thing? Oh, that he was... that he had a bunch of pictures of a bunch of girls from WSU and U of I on his phone. Apparently, this is my problem I have with that too. They're sitting there trying to give a bunch of information out that no one is supposed to have. So whenever they're coming out and giving a bunch of information that we know that no one is supposed to have, how are we supposed to believe that it's true? How are we supposed to believe that you actually have real factual information whenever we know you're not supposed to have it? How? I don't know. You guys tell me. How are we supposed to believe it? Like, again, them showing this footage doesn't mean too much to me. It really doesn't, because of what we already know about Steve Consolves. This doesn't mean shit to me. And see, if that guy lives right there, then it wouldn't still mean nothing. It would literally mean nothing at all for that car to be pulling in and out right there. I honestly believe that that car that they're talking about, if that car is actually involved in this situation at all, it was not there. It wasn't there to, it wasn't driven by the person who did it. The car never stopped. The car never stopped. Question everything. I mean, I just thought it was weird. Like, I literally only talked about it because it was just one of those weird off the wall that gave me a really creepy vibe type things that I like to share with you guys sometimes. That's literally all it was. It was nothing else. I wasn't trying to dig into it and see, anything else. I was just like, oh my God. Like, I know that it's like a green color, but the way that it slowed down was just so creepy. It's like they were just watching it and going as slow as possible to be able to get all of the details in. It was just weird. It was just weird. Right, they live there. That's why I'm like, I really just don't know. Infrared reflection is intense and covers most natural light reflections. I don't know what kind of cameras those are. He wasn't he? Brian Inton was driving a green color car during that time. I remember that. Well, we've kind of known for a long time that Emma Bailey's parents' house was either right behind King Road or somewhere around King Road. See, I don't know about all that. I'm not going to sit there and try to say that I can follow this car and like all these other things, or like pretend that I know from anything else that this car went literally anywhere else. That's the kind of stuff that I don't entertain because that's fakery to me. I don't like it. I really just don't, guys. I know that a lot of you like all that stuff because it makes people sound like they might be figuring something out, but we just don't have enough. We literally have to focus and just give opinions literally piece by piece. We can't really try to put a lot of this stuff together right now. So to say he followed the car to some other place on this other address and all these other things, did he really? Because how? How does he have access to all of that footage besides just these obviously incorrectly color-coded timestamps on this map that are apparently wrong too? I don't know. I'm not saying that everybody's wrong about everything and I'm just right about everything either, but I can't entertain stuff like that whenever I don't have all of those pieces. It just feels like somebody's just kind of like saying something to say something whenever they don't really have all the stuff in the middle. I don't like that stuff. I need to have proof and tracks along the way. I cannot make those kinds of ginormous leaps. There has to be something in the middle. There has to be something in the middle. Car owner makes and sells. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't believe this whatsoever. As much as he's talked about her and her substance selling BFF boyfriend guy, he knew. Don't let him fool you. He knew. He totally knew. Totally knew. Now, the whole thing about that is really strange to me. Because, like, I know a lot of you guys out there listening to my voice right now took screenshots of lots of things, didn't you? Didn't you? See, all of you out there that do those kinds of things are the reason why we actually know the facts about their narrative about Bryan Kohberger following them on Instagram, because so many of you sleuths out there went and literally screenshotted the ever-loving shit out of everyone's social media before the arrest. No Bryan Kohberger was literally anywhere on anyone's stuff, literally anywhere. People have the proof of it all over the place. Melissa Jade's one of them. Her and her people have had the screenshots forever. Several people have them. Several. So, also, him having screenshots of stuff on his phone, if they're dated after the crime, am I supposed to care? If they're dated after 11/13 of 22, am I supposed to give a shit about him having screenshots of maybe some of the girls maybe on his phone, considering the fact that this was a topic in his classroom? That he was a criminology student that lived within a 10-minute drive from one of the worst crimes that place had ever seen, ever? I don't know. Now, I know that Steve Consolves makes mention of the possibility that something was Googled by Bryan before the 911 call. And if that sort of situation is the situation, that'll be something that changes a lot of things. That'll be something that changes a lot of shit, okay? But other things factor into that as well, especially since everyone pretty much knows at this point the story of what was ever the frick was happening was going out really early in the morning because those girls didn't sleep. Okay. And according to WSU Kim, WSU, people over there were hearing about it really hella early too. So we have to, I guess, take that into consideration. But then again, we'd never heard that before. That's like something odd that I just don't really believe is anything that he heard from anybody when it comes from the state, because the state hasn't talked to them and confided in them since they basically brought the state to court over the gag order. And he's admitted that. He's not going to shut up. He's not going to be quiet. Well, they're not going to talk to you. They've proven that. So I don't know. But if there's proof of that, which I know that Daniel over on Drunk Turkey is apparently going live tonight. I guess he might be live right now. And his, said something about Kohberger website history or search history released. No, it's not. Unless something came out that I don't know about. And I checked the Idaho page like right before we went live and there's nothing on there. There's literally nothing on there. So I don't know if he's going based off of whatever this Dateline thing said and he's using that for that and it's all clickbait like normal, or if it's something he got from the Consolveses. I have no idea. But I know that there's no proof of any of that stuff, so. Yeah, stream people that hide their face get on my nerves. I'm sorry. I agree with this. If you're going to get on here and talk about somebody's real life, if you're going to get on here and give opinions and give speculative theories about an actual person who lost their actual freaking life, about actual living freaking people, take your glasses off and have some damn respect. I'm sorry, but that does get on my damn nerves. Like, I know that some people go faceless to like hide themselves for privacy or whatever, but it's really just my opinion that if you're going to be out here talking about real life freaking things, then be who you freaking actually are. At least have the damn decency to actually be who you actually are and show your real face. You don't have to give everybody all your freaking information, but at least don't hide. It's like I don't want to believe anything you say whenever you sit there with glasses on. I can't tell if you're lying to me or not with those freaking shades on your face. Ooh, see, I got me all riled up. Take those damn glasses off. Ooh, it's on my damn nerves. Like, I get on here with my hair with my dye in it and don't even have any makeup on. I don't give a damn. I'm not here to impress anybody. Take your damn glasses off. Look me in the freaking face and tell me your freaking opinions so I can tell if you're being for real. I don't know what these freaking people are saying whenever they have their glasses on. I don't know what you're really feeling. That's what you could not say nothing to me whatsoever. Your mouth can be completely shut. You could be making no face at all, poker, but I can read your eyes and say, know everything that you're trying to tell me. So whenever you're hiding like that, I don't like it. And Crime Circus too, like coming out here in face paint. A lot of the stuff he does, I really feel like it's all a mockery anyway. Like, I know people think he's like this awesome detective. He knows how I feel about him. I've talked to one of his mods that emails people back and forth. We've had a little discussion. They know how I feel about what he does. They're very well aware. I feel like he thinks this is all a mockery. And he takes the fact that people take it seriously and he puts that dramatic effect on it, but puts that twist on it too. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's not stupid. He's very smart in the way that he's played both of his channels. He's no fool. But it's also something that's completely disrespectful. Like, I know a lot of people don't like the fact that I have opinions that they don't like about the Consolveses. sorry, but at least I am who I am. And I come out here and I try to say in ways that I can relate to certain things and reasons why I feel certain ways. At least I'm for real. I don't sit here lying about who the frick I actually am and the things that are going on in my freaking life. I don't understand it. And the glasses make me feel like they're full of shit, especially since in the beginning, Daniel was really asking like a lot of questions. He really was. What's her name? She's over here quite a bit. Nothing half-assed. She does this skit. She does this skit where she pretends to be, I guess, like a cousin of Nancy Grace. Can't remember the name. Fancy something. But she played a clip the other day, and it was like the only video of hers I've ever actually had like scroll across my thing. I actually didn't know she ever even posted stuff. I see her name in here all the time. Never knew she posted anything. This one was freaking hilarious, all right? And she's deep Southern accent, but she's pulling up JB Hunter, stupid self, and an interview that he was doing with Daniel. And Daniel is like actually asking questions and questioning the PCA and saying that the times don't add up. And when they're trying to say that he went this way, that's not what's actually happening. The proof is that he went the other direction. And I'm like, what the frick happened to that guy? What happened to that guy? What happened to the guy that used to actually pay attention to shit and ask questions? Oh, we started talking to Steve? Started taking those glasses a little bit more seriously? Is that why he can't take them off? Because he knows we're going to know that he's full of shit? I can't stand how it just like changes because you have a conversation. And it's just like the forensic frenzy girl that he always entertains. She's been out here forever now trying to say that Cy has like walked away from the case. Then lo and behold, here comes the Cy affidavit that blows everything insane. Has lawyer, saying, holy shit, this is cray cray. Has Hitler calling Cy a conspiracy theorist in open court. Nada. Doesn't even say, oh, my bad, guys. Just deletes her video where she's been telling everybody that we're stupid because we think Cy is actually going to do something here, and pretends like she hasn't been lying to everybody for months about him being off the case. When in all reality, come to find out, it's one of the state's people that actually has dropped out. What are their psych people dropped? I recorded the video of the document that just released when it came to the psychological information that's going on. That one will end up coming out tomorrow. I don't have much left of it to finish editing, and then it'll be up. But basically, the judge is not allowing the state to do any sort of testing that the defense did not do. So if the defense didn't do personality testing and the state wants to do personality testing, nope, sorry, the defense didn't do it, so the state doesn't get to do it, which is a win because they're trying to do something extra and the defense is like, no. Obviously, there was a conversation because all this stuff was done recently. So nothing was said about personality testing. And on top of that, the only thing that's being presented are his actual diagnoses, because he himself is like, I don't have a personality disorder. I don't need to take a personality test. And his own forensic people are coming out and saying he doesn't have a personality disorder. He's not even technically antisocial. And you know what I had forever? I'm so glad I kept this, guys. You're going to see it in the thing tomorrow. I'm so glad I kept this. There is an interview, sort of, that Nancy Grace did with the neighbor that invited Bryan over to the pool party, but it's not, he won't show his face. So I don't know if it's before or after he did the one where he does show his face, but you can hear it's his voice. You just freaking know, okay? And she's like talking to him, and he's inside of his apartment, and he's saying how he met Kohberger's dad, and his dad was like, he has issues making friends, blah, 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 whatever. Well, apparently, once he like went to the pool party and came back, he told Bryan, I don't know why your dad said that, because that's not true at all. So we've already kind of known that he's not antisocial, which just sort of tells me that if anything, he's selective, and he's not going to just be all buddy-buddy with you if he's in a professional setting, which we sort of already understood was sort of an issue that a lot of people did have with him, is that he was a harsh grader because he expected people, I guess, to do things the way that he would, because he was pretty much like, I don't know, like, I guess a perfectionist when it came to certain things. I'm assuming just based off of the small things that we have been told. And there was one girl that was like, she asked him a question about something, and he was just like, well, did you read the assignment? basically saying you wouldn't be asking me this question if you actually read the assignment. You're just wasting my time and wasting yours. Like, go do what you're supposed to do, follow directions. I would have honestly answered the same way. I don't deal with people that, if you can answer your own question, why are you asking me? Like, I have issues with that. Unless you're my child and I am supposed to actually teach you stuff, I'm not going to answer something that you pretty much, like, you read it and then you glanced over it and now you're asking me instead of going and doing the work. I don't like that. That's real lazy. It's real lazy. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. But it was a win because not only do they have to match exactly what the defense has done testing wise, but they sort of, the defense also pretty much won the other argument really too, because he's allowing them to observe the test, but it has to be on like a one-way screen where they're not allowed to like intervene or do anything, which that's what I said before I even read it. I was like, yeah, they should be able to freaking observe. Are you serious? Like, this is no different than a minor needing the observation of their parent because this guy is in custody of the state. She's basically sort of like his guardian. Yeah, they should be able to watch it. So honestly, it was really like the most fair ruling that I've heard from Hippler so far. And I think that's going to be the title, is something sarcastic, like the fairest ruling of them all or some shit like that, because it really is like super fair. Like, the state's even getting their extension because it's not their fault that for some reason their mental health guy backed out. Notice that no one from the defense is jumping ship. No. They're doubling down. They're becoming literal trial attorneys. They're coming in with extra affidavits and saying, nay, all of this is missing and all of this is boo-boo. The state has people leaving. The state's now needing more time. Interesting, ain't it? Rant over. Rant over. No, see, that's the thing. That's the thing right here when it comes to this pool party situation, okay? I don't know what's actually being like shown or insinuated in the pool party stuff when it comes to the Dateline video. In the comments, and this is all suggestive, based on the way that Dateline is stringing in the images as the words are coming out. And I cannot stand whenever they do this. I did a video about this on my other channel because it was just ignorant. Like, this guy was out here saying that the guy who tried to pew Trump, that whenever the videos and footages and stuff were coming out of him on the roof, that he wasn't wearing the same shirt that he was in the photo that they had aerially of him before. Oh, stuff went cray. And you can see the insignia of the bird on the guy's shirt on the body. And so I did a video just because it wasn't a crime thing. I just put it over there on my other channel. I'd never seen this guy before. It's like Wolf's and Finance or some stuff like that. And he was sort of just like a deep dive political government type channel. I'd never seen his channel before. And I was just on my other username and it just popped up over there. And I'm like, I see the shirt, bro. What are you talking about? And literally, as he's showing the shirt, like in the clip, I'm showing what he's doing. The shirt is right there in everyone's faces, and you can see the black of the wings and the tail and everything of the bird. And he's saying, it is very clear to the human eye that this is not the same shirt. And I'm like, bro, I'm looking at it. What are you talking about? That kind of wordplay, that kind of bullshit, that's what this Dateline thing did. They were putting in pictures of like a phone, really blurry, with really edited and blurry photos that looked really similar. I'm telling you, while I was looking at the video, I was seeing stuff and being like, that picture looks familiar. Damn, I can see where they're seeing that. Yeah, I feel like I've seen that photo before. Some of them looked like we'd seen them. The problem is that they probably are. They probably are photos that we've seen, especially the one of all of the 4 girls in the black shirt. I'm pretty sure that's the one that we've seen that has Bethany in it. Pretty freaking sure. But as they're showing these like blurred out photos that, again, anyone who had been following this case for years, especially on YouTube, would have had these sort of like familiarity triggers whenever we saw these very familiar shapes. That's how the human brain works, okay? That's why whenever they say that Dylan didn't get any sort of recognition whatsoever when she saw the mugshot of Bryan Kohberger, regardless of anything, she should have recognized like at least like this portion of his face as prominent, okay? As prominent as his nose and his eye sockets and his brow bone and everything right here is. There's no way. There's just no way that she just didn't have a little bit of a trigger. Most of us did. A lot of people in the comments of that video were saying that they thought that they saw what could be Xana in like the Grove stuff that they were talking about. The thing is that the Grove was the pool party that he was invited to. We know that Kaylee was also at a pool party because we've had the confirmation from Steve Consolves. In the conversation stuff that got leaked between Steve and Brat, there's a conversation between the two of them about that because Reverend Donna Serafina came out with her psychic video about a pool party. I did a video about that too, and even in my video, I was able to come to the conclusion from the text message releases, all the actual evidence that we have when it comes to the text messages between Christian and Bryan Kohberger for that pool party, the information between Steve and Brat, and just all the actual info we have that it was two different parties. One was inside, one was outside, different locations, both in Moscow. Not the same party. So we got that ixnayed out the way pretty quickly. So now that they're in here and they're just like, oh, this party and oh, there's stuff on his phone. I mean, I agree. It's going to be a little bit like weird. I'm not going to be okay if he's just like randomly recording people. I don't like that. Like, I know that in the day and age of like cell phones and TikTok and all that stuff, a lot of people feel like they can just like take out their phones and just record any old thing. I'm not like that. I don't like it. It's not cute. Okay. So if he's just like sitting in his chair, not talking to anybody and just like videoing people at the party, yeah, it's a little weird. I don't like it. It doesn't mean he did anything. It doesn't really make me feel like he's guilty any more than I have, but it's weird. But we also don't know where they're getting this information from, because why in the hell would Keith Morrison and Dateline, who were supposed to be doing the right thing here, how would they have information from his phone records? How would they know that right before he took that selfie, he called his mom? How would they know that? Tell me. How? How? I didn't say against the law. I said the shit ain't cute, because not everybody wants to be on camera. And just like in my situation, if I'm at a McDonald's with my kids and somebody's on TikTok recording the whole damn thing and then they post it online and they have the location, lo and behold, my ex finds me and knows where we are. Understand? The shit ain't cute. Shit ain't cute. I don't want to argue with you, but I really think they said video too. I think they did. I think they did. But it doesn't matter regardless, because how would they know what was on his phone? None of that information's come out. And it's not just they're saying that he has photos or videos or whatever on his phone. They're also claiming a phone record. That means they have access to whatever he made phone calls with. That goes beyond having just like AT&T records. It goes beyond just call records. No, I'm talking about Dateline. How they got it. Thank you, Gail. And thank you for being a member for 3 months. Tomorrow, 9/8 Central. That's what I was trying to figure out too. Someone said it goes on Peacock. after it airs. I don't know how that stuff works. Like, what do you mean by after? I don't know how they got photos from his phone either. I don't know how they got photos from his phone, or honestly, they're not. That's the thing, though. That's what I'm saying about like the suggestive editing. Like they're saying all these things while they're showing these photos of this phone real blurry with some edited boo-boo on there that some of us might feel like looks familiar. Because I know, again, I wasn't the only one. People in the comments really started it. A lot of them specifically said they could have sworn that they felt like they saw Xana in at least one of those photos from the pool that they were claiming was from the pool anyway. But I don't think that they would show anything that they did have on the phone if they did have anything from his phone. So I don't think that was his phone. I think I said in my video that I feel like it was some worker that just was like scrolling and some footage was just being taken like as they were getting the video together. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like. That's what we're talking about, Rob. I did a video about it earlier. I swear. Humans drive me crazy. Let me know. So, yeah. I don't know. I just know that it goes beyond. It just goes beyond. It goes beyond a lot of things because it's not just photos. Again, it's phone call records too. It's phone records too. And there's just no way that Steve Consolves would have that. Like, I understand the possibility of him being the one that gave them the footage. But like my buddy said, there'd be no way in hell that Steve Consolves would have ever been able to have obtained a forensic download of Bryan Kohberger's phone for him to have that information. There's just no way. Because if that happened, that's like hella illegal. Hella illegal. But still, even in like the stuff that they were saying, did they say that it was like actually specifically like the victims that he had photos of? I know that it said that he had picture like videos and photos or like screenshots and photos or whatever of girls from both school, but I don't remember if they said specifically the victims or if it was like friends of. Maybe we need to go back and watch it. It's only 5 minutes. It's going to air. Oh, thank you for the 1999, Rose. Thank you. Very, very much. I very much appreciate it. Tomorrow, Friday night, 9/8 Central. I want to go live and just kind of like react to the camera, what I'm watching. And like, if you guys are watching it, obviously we'll react together and then we'll talk about it afterwards because I'm not going to be able to show it on the screen. I'm not going to be able to show it on the screen. They're going to come in here and they're going to take my whole channel down. So I know that people were saying that it plays after it airs. Like if it airs on, I guess, like cable or whatever, then it shows up on Peacock afterwards. But is that like the next day? Like I'm trying to see if there's a way that I can actually watch it live as it's actually coming out live at 8 Central. So I'm going to have to look into that. And if I figure all that out, then I'll let you know how to do it. So, I mean, it's not really clickbait, though. That's the problem, though, Susie Mac. That's the problem. It's not clickbait because they have a video that no one has seen until they aired it. So it's not really clickbait. Like, it could be very well clickbait to an extent, but whenever they've already shown us something that we actually hadn't seen before, that we know is factual evidence in this case that we've already been told by both sides is part of the storyline here, it's not technically clickbait. That's the problem. That's the problem I have. That's why I have so many problems with it. Yeah, see, I don't do Discord. I don't do Discord. I can do Discord. I try to stay off all those crazy ass platforms. Right? Okay, you just want to be proven right. I know you. We'll probably watch it again. Yeah, because I want to get the information right. And it's, yeah, I was planning on being on for at least 2 hours, and we still have 18 minutes. So let's just do that. Let me add myself back. And then, hold on. Let's go. Okay. Yeah. Well, no, the 5 minutes that we watched has the crazy stuff in it, Susie. That's why it's crazy. No one has seen that before. Like, unless Bratton Norton has seen it before and is just not saying anything. But then again, I don't know if she's still on YouTube or anything like that. So I honestly just don't know what that girl's doing, okay? I don't remember her saying that she had seen it. I remember her saying that Steve had just told her that what he had was closer to the house, all the things, and that it didn't match up. So there's that. Okay. Let's see. Have y'all, okay, drop a 1 while I'm looking for this because I got to go into my history. Drop a 1 if you guys have been keeping up with the Gypsy Rose drama. I want to know. I know some of y'all are in here. I know I'm not the only one that the Gypsy Rose saga is like a guilty pleasure. I want to know. I know I'm not the only one. Y'all drop 1s while I find this. Oh, you know what? I'm not even going to make y'all wait until I drop my little video thing. All the different numbers, but the 1s. No, everything's wild over there, man. She's insane. It's just insane. Okay, this is the video I was talking about earlier where wild is not even like, it's wild as shit. This right here that I just put in the link is Nancy Grace talking to the Christian guy. And he says that Bryan's not antisocial, that his dad was wrong. That his dad was wrong. Where the frick? Where's the frick? There it is. Okay. We're gonna watch this whole thing. Let me go ahead and share this now. Okay. Full screen. I need to change the banner real quick because I swear I'm not dealing with y'all over there, Dateline. Hold on. I ain't playing with him. Okay. Let's listen to this. You should follow Gypsy Rose if you are feeling bad about your life, because damn, if she ain't the best gaslighter on the damn planet. I know that Ryan is all kinds of obviously messed up in the head for wanting to be with somebody who did what she did in the first place. I understand that, but damn. But damn. She's insane. I'm sorry. Did that really happen? I'm sorry. Is that real? I'm not even going to say that out loud. I can't. I'm not doing it. Oh, it's real. That's wild. Oh, I mean, yeah, people, whatever. Yeah, people all the time. Especially on Reddit. Apparently people don't like me on Reddit, and I honestly just don't give a shit. Okay, let's listen to this. This is, again, a 5-minute little preview of what's supposed to be dropping tomorrow. I'm going to move it to 1.1. Okay, let's take a listen.
In this house, just steps from campus, in the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022, 4 University of Idaho students, Maddie Mogen, Kaylee Goncalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, were stabbed to death. Their accused killer.
See, they can say something like that, but I can't say that, like those real words, without them not wanting to push my video out into the algorithm. That's legit. I know, like, all the channels talk about that. It's true.
Bryan Kohberger faces trial this summer. He's pleaded not guilty. For the last 2.5 years, Dateline has been on the ground, reporting, gathering, and learning from people with direct knowledge of the case. We've obtained things that have never before been seen publicly.
So let's address that for a second. Things that have not been seen publicly that they have obtained. So when was the gag order? Let's look at that. When was the non-dissemination order actually put in place? And honestly, it's kind of like pathetic that I even need to honestly look at that. Because regardless of there being a non-dissemination order or not, no one should be able to just give this kind of information over to mainstream. Because that's really like damn, it was hella early. That's really like the only way they can truly like sort of get away with this information getting out is if it actually happened before the gag order. But it's stuff about Bryan. This is 1/3 of 23, just a few days after his arrest. Was he back in Idaho on 1/3 of 23 already? His phone information had to have been, right? Because they said that the forensic download was done by the feds. Huh. What do you mean? They changed the timestamp on the video they released. Are you talking about how 407 should actually be 404?
Like.
So this is supposed to be the car. Let's look through these right here again. Yeah, and they're claiming that this is the car. They're claiming that this is the car. And I showed earlier, I paused it where it's like the exact screenshot that we have from the state in one of the past make and model documents.
Like these security videos from a camera on a house near the murder.
See, showing at 3:33, the car is leaving the area.
Videos that show a
3:38, a car is coming back into the area. 3:40, how like flawless that was. Like if you're not paying attention, you really just don't even catch it. Like it's insane. At 3:38, 40, it's instantly. They don't even show. See, there's a reason why they cut it right here. Okay, if they would have allowed this 3:38 car to drive all the way past this entire spot, we probably would have seen this car ain't got shit to do with shit. That's probably what would have happened. But they stopped it as it's still this huge fairy light ball, and we don't even get to see what it actually is.
Car that
Look, they stop it right there in the turn. They don't even allow us to see it, and it turns around. But it was supposed to have been driving around for 2 minutes. So this car pulled in, drove around, and pulled right back out. But you don't let us see it actually drive by.
Was driven by Bryan Kohberger making repeated passes at the King Roadhouse that night.
Now here it comes back in, 3:56. And now at 4:07, they have a car coming back. Okay, what time was the DoorDash dropped off? 3:59. So if they're only showing a car coming in at 3:56, they should have been smart enough to show us the damn car leaving. You'd think that they would want to show us the DoorDash car leaving now that we have the timestamp from the state documentation of 3:59. But no, they don't do that either. This car now comes in at 4:07. What have we been told this whole time? I showed at the beginning of this. There's no 4:07 in the PCA whatsoever. The timestamp they're saying that the car comes in is 4:04. This car is coming in at 4:07. But on the map that they have popped up whenever they do the 50-something page one for the make and model, they have the 4:07 car at the crime scene itself, down the actual road crime scene spot. But this footage itself has it coming in at 07. So none of this stuff right here actually is adding up minute-wise, and it matters. It matters whenever there's so many vehicles in that area that we already know match the description of the one that they were looking for, and we know that there was a DoorDash, literally a fragment of a hair right before all this stuff apparently went down. And the time matters. The time hella matters.
Evidence like this and our reporting, we have assembled a timeline for the weeks, months, and days before and after the murders. Starting with the pool party Kohberger attended.
Here's the pool party.
In July, just after he moved to the area in pursuit of his PhD in criminology.
See how they're showing this video? They're making it seem like the way that they talk makes it seem as if this is the pool party and this video came from his phone. That is the suggestion here.
An exclusive interview with a woman who exchanged numbers with Kohberger, then did not return his text.
See, that says, let's just say, what should that say, June or July?
Kohberger then did not
I don't remember
return
what they
his
said.
text.
July 9th, 2022 at 6:21 p.m. Now, we heard from Howard Blum, whatever, that he apparently had gotten numbers from two blondes at the party. Apparently. She's a brunette.
You know, the universe intervened, and for whatever
I mean, she doesn't look like a fake brunette. She could be a fake brunette, but the dark doesn't look fake on her. Just saying.
reason just distracted me from further engaging in that interaction.
We'll also reveal records from Kohberger's cell phone that are in the possession of law enforcement and Google searches regarding the serial killer Ted Bundy.
Okay, loaded 2 seconds. A, how the hell do you have his call records? And B, your search history, Mr. Morrison, is probably worse than Bryan Kohberger's. What are you talking about? What do you mean? So many people had issues with this whole thing right here about how they're trying to push the fact that he had searched Ted Bundy, trying to make it like a bad thing. You're literally only out here making a video about this case because people look up people like Ted Bundy. So what's the problem? What's the problem? It's ridiculous. Yeah, she's definitely darker hair. She's pretty. But Howard Blum didn't mention anything about a brunette girl. He only mentioned the blondes. And you know why? You know why? Because Kaylee and Maddie are blonde. Why not just make it what it is? He doesn't have a preference, obviously, because unless she's dyed her hair, he obviously doesn't care too much if he's just going around willy-nilly getting numbers. You know?
We have also seen these. Dozens of photos in Kohberger's cell phone. Browsing history.
See? Someone probably is going to find these. They probably have by now because a lot of people have a lot of time and they're really quick and they just know where shit's at and they already have it all stored up. I think this one right here is Xana. Does this not look like a photo that we've seen before? I'm just not positive. But the way that her body is like shaped, like this is like triggering a photo of Xana that I've seen before. Now, granted, that could be being a little bit suggestive because I went stupidly and I tried not to do this until afterwards, honestly, as much as I possibly can. I went and read the comments before I watched it, knowing that people were saying that they could see Xana in the pool party pics. So I don't know if it's like a little bit suggestive in my mind because I read that ahead of time, but there's something so freaking familiar about this photo. But I also don't believe that it's not impossible that they're taking things that they know, again, that we've all seen. And this is just some rando's phone that works in the studio that's just being recorded as a prop. Because that happens a lot.
Dozens of photos in Kohberger's cell phone. Browsing history. Women from...
See that watermelon one, bro? I know we've seen these. I know we have.
History. Women from Washington State and the University of Idaho.
We've seen, this is the Bethany photo. This is Bethany, right? Her. I know it.
Including close friends of the King
Or
Road.
one of those last two.
Dateline is also...
And I feel like the red shirt right here is Xana. I said all of this in my video about this. I feel like this is this looks like it is a picture of Xana that we've seen.
Dateline has also obtained records showing the details of what an FBI cell phone expert has claimed to be in the months before the murders. 23 occasions when Kohberger's phone connected to a cell tower, providing coverage to within 100 meters of the house.
See, the way they're putting that is really gets on my nerves. Okay. And people were commenting the exact same thing because we've read that document. We've read the document where that whole 23 thing and 100 meter, whatever the frick thing came from. And it is not saying what they're trying to come out and say. It's not. We've gone over it 1,000 times and I'm not the only one that says that. I'm not just making it up or just trying to be different. I'm not the only one that sees it that way. We're reading it for what it is. It's giving us a description of a map that was created. And then in an entire different sentence structure, it's telling us about how this map is supposed to depict the coverage area for a certain tower. Okay, that 100 whatever that they put around the crime scene, that's pretty standard for whenever they're trying to figure out information. That doesn't mean anything when it comes to where those 23 pings were. Like it really just doesn't. And there's nothing in the documentation that leads you to believe that either. What they're doing here is they're saying it the exact same way that Steve Consolves said it on Daniel's show. And that's, again, where we went back over that document. Now, again, I am not sitting here and saying that I'm 1,000,000,000% wrong. Okay. But I'm also going to sit here and say that just because this guy comes out here and narrates crime stuff doesn't mean that he is too, on point or too knowledgeable about the things that he's talking about either. I don't know his expertise whenever it comes to cell phone location information. Just like I don't really know Steve's expertise when it comes to cell phone information. Okay. Cyray, obviously, he trains the people who go and testify about this kind of stuff. It'd be really kind of stupid of me to not believe the teacher. Doesn't that make sense? That would make more sense to believe the person who goes out and teaches these people than to believe the people that can be manipulated. I'll put it that way. Thanks for always speaking common sense and facts. I try to as much as possible. I speculate just as much as everyone else, but I try my damnedest to make sure that people know the difference. You have to make sure people know the difference. Well, see, and it was really interesting too, because he pretty much put to bed something that a lot of people were already questioning whenever he was over on Drunk Turkey, because he said that they had to go over the probability or possibility, at least, that there was like another device or a second phone that he was using to tether either like VPN stuff for, because they say that he used his VPN too, and I'm like, okay, cool, what does that do? That doesn't do anything. It doesn't stop your cell phone tower from knowing where you freaking are. That just does something whenever you actually are like on the internet doing stuff on the actual internet. That doesn't do anything for your mobile data cell situation. So they, bringing so much onto like the VPN, I guess, had to go in and see if there was like a second device or a second phone or whatever used, and he said no. And a lot of people were questioning that, and Steve came out and basically verified no, there wasn't one, because there was another phone number. Like, we've talked about this too. There was a whole other phone number on his WSU directory, but when it comes to his traffic stops and all the other things, everything official, none of that stuff was apparently active in doing anything. There's some information for a Verizon account way back in the very, 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 very beginning. You can go and find the title for it, but it's all sealed. But there's nothing for it. And Steve himself now has come out and said, no second phone. No second phone. So the WSU information was all the information for the phone he had before he got the AT&T phone over the summer. And for some reason, the directory was just never updated, because he was given the police, obviously, the number that they did all the search warrant stuff for as of August, right after he moved here. So that other phone was nowhere to be seen.
1122 King Road. And in the hours after the murders, details of the timing of phone calls Bryan Kohberger made to a phone linked to his parents just
Why do you know that, sir?
before the controversial selfie he took. And we'll talk to the mother.
And what time was that? Like 10:30 something? It's like 10:30 something, right? And again, I have a screenshot of it in the video where I mention it. Where is it? Damn it. Right here. Someone left a comment, and I've mentioned it a few times, that someone claiming to be family is saying that a lot of people that are out here, or everyone that's out here talking a lot of shit, basically, about this photo is going to feel real bad whenever the truth comes out that he was just showing his mom that he was able to button the top button. This was said, and it was repeated on my channel before the information came out about him having some sort of dexterity diagnosis. So I found the timing really, really interesting, because again, it came out right before that, and it explains this a lot. It really does explain it a lot, especially since at that point we'd pretty much already known about his autism, but we didn't know about the dexterity issue. We didn't know about any of that yet. So now we have confirmation that he was on the phone with the same person that this lady is saying. He was just sending his mom a photo saying, hey, I got the button. So he was on the phone with his mom right before he got the button. Yeah, that actually is tracking, isn't it? It's tracking, isn't it? It's insane. See, and I've also said that too. I don't know anything about his religious preference. I have no idea. I don't dig into people like that. I really don't. That's why in the video that I did for the interview room thing, I ended up going in and clipping out the part where I was talking about Kaylee and Maddie's like biggest fight or whatever. Because I even said like in the video, I don't know exactly when Olivia's wedding was, but if this is the timeline, then this is a big deal because this was like the biggest fight they ever had, and it was right before all this stuff happened and right as she like was moving into King Road. Well, I said in the video I wasn't sure, and to let me know ahead of time so that I could fix it because I just wasn't sure. And sure enough, it was 2021 and not 2022. So I had to go in and take that, you know, that piece out of there. But when it comes to the timeline of him moving in and it comes to the timeline of Kaylee moving in, and then we hear about how his dad was trying to like, hey, can you come be friends with my son? Because, you know, he sort of has issues sometimes. It sounds like that's the only commonality here. Is they were both sort of like moving houses at around the same time, but other than that, it stops. They were both making like life-changing moves at around the exact same time, but that's where it stops. They actually admitted in the documents, in this latest document where I said that they agreed that the state can only do the same testing that the defense did and that they're both allowed to watch the testing be done. They actually admitted all of that stuff about his eating. Damn, I can't say it. I'm so glad I remembered that because YouTube does not play about that word right there. I'm going to have to make sure that I edit one of those words out because YouTube really will like flag the ever-loving hell out of my videos. There's actually a very popular content creator that has a very serious one of those issues that looks like she's literally like a walking corpse. It's really sad. Most people know who I'm talking about. And I'm talking about her this way because if you even say her name a lot of times, there's been so many issues with what her creating stuff like puts out there because of the attention that she gets for her issue that it really like glamorizes it. So a lot of people have problems. Yes, EC. So you have to be careful. I hope that the true crime people remember that because this is not a word that we probably use in true crime a lot. But I watch channels that talk about stuff like that a lot. Not like that specifically, but people that like stuff. I've watched stuff on her a lot because that's always been really fascinating to me because like I don't know how people are not. Yeah, I don't know how people are not stepping in on that situation. Like we're literally just watching this shit happen in slow motion and no one's doing anything. I don't quite comprehendo. I'm just saying. So you have to be really careful because they have to be super careful. I've seen their videos get taken down because they made a mistake and accidentally said it, or, you know, just the name itself gets stuff flagged. So I hope people remember that. Anyway, they admitted to that issue on top of the substance issue as well in this last document about the psychological testing. So yeah. EC, yeah, that's her. Black hair. I mean, it's sad. Like I swear I've been watching this happen for like 20 years now. I feel like, even though she's not even that old, but I feel like it's been forever. I've been watching this happen. And I'm just like, how is nobody doing something? Like, how are we just watching this in mass, the entire freaking planet? It's wild. Wild. But yeah, so you gotta be super careful. But they do admit all that stuff in this. But it's weird to me because this is a very different look than the mugshot. Like, he looks like somebody did this. Okay, Bryan is not a little man. You know? So this selfie is odd to me because like this is like a really smaller guy than the guy that we saw being taken out in like the red jumpsuit, and a lot smaller. Like his, even like it's his face. His face looks like somebody narrowed it. Like it just doesn't look right. And it's only 6 weeks. I mean, yeah, I really definitely knew contouring, Jesus Christ. He might have. I definitely knew that they filtered the shit out of this thing. Okay, he blends in. Everything is the same color. It's Ashley Banfeld. It's the same color, okay? There's no way they didn't filter the shit out of this. On top of this, his knuckles are really white because they did a bunch of just weird filtering. I know. But when it comes to the rest of that, like, I don't know how to tell what's manipulated and how. Like, you can tell that, like, there's more lines. Can you even see? It doesn't even let you see. Oh, it does. Ah!
And we'll talk.
No, I want it to pause, but I want to be able to point on it. Okay, hold on. Okay. You see, like, in here, like, you can see the lines, like, in the linoleum in the shower. But then around him, there's a little bit of a wobble, like, right in here. And I pointed this out whenever people were talking about the shower curtain, because you see how this is also edited. The shower curtain loops are, like, right here. So this little white piece is actually, like, the shower curtain, like, for realio, though. But whenever it comes to the lines, when it gets close to, like, his shoulders and stuff right here, it's all faded. There's no lines, like, out here away from his body. So it's definitely photoshopped. They photoshopped the crap out of it. They definitely photoshopped the shit out of this. I know, but I'm not talking about just his vest. I'm talking about his face. Like, let me go find the one from the tile lines are very blurred. All in here. Let me see. We'll go back to this. Like, all in here, like, these lines are, like, really wobbly, but extremely faint, like, right around this area right here. And honestly, the lighting right here on this portion, now that I'm really looking at it, is a little bit odd. But then all on this side around his shoulders and in his cheek area, it's all faded in, like somebody photoshopped the shit out of it. All right, let me see. Where's the freaking mugshot? Bryan Kohberger mugshot. Like, y'all might think that I just, like, keep this crap on my computer. No, I'm always going to Google because I'm just not that kind of person. I just don't do none of that. Now look, this dude has a jawline, bro. Look at that jawline. What's that thing them kids do now? Bullshit they always do. I swear my 7-year-old walks around like that all the time. Okay, look at this jawline. Can I make this bigger? No, not that one. Okay. Look at this jawline. Look at this right here. Okay, look. This is 6 weeks after that. His entire, like, jawbone is, I mean, I know it's a different angle. Yeah, that shit right there. Yeah. You can tell I got kids. You know, I got boys. Yeah. He just looks like somebody narrowed him. Somebody narrowed him. Watch, I'm gonna do it again. Ready? Can I make this bigger? Like, come on. I really don't keep this shit. I can't make this bigger for you no other way. Okay, ready? I'm gonna switch it. Ready? Ready? They narrowed his face. And it's interesting too, because this is almost like the same color wall. His hair's lighter because it's dry, but other than that, he just looks like someone shrunk his, like, width down. I can. Give me just, like, a second, though, because I have to open up my editor over her on this page. I don't care about your latest launch. Give me what I'm over her for. Oh, and in case y'all don't know who I'm talking about when it comes to the neighbor, this is like the little slide that I made for whenever I'm playing the audio so that she can't come in and try to do nothing to me either on that video that it's going to drop about that new document. This is the neighbor that invited him to the pool party that she's talking to, where he says that his dad was wrong, that he actually wasn't antisocial, that he doesn't understand where, you know, that came from. I'm going to just do this for y'all to watch. Y'all can just watch me do this for her. I mean, damn, I'm gonna do it with the orange one too, because even in the one where he has like an orange outfit on, it's just like his face looks like it's full width. Hold on, I gotta screenshot this one. See, and I don't know if they did something else to this before they put it in their little video either, because I feel like this looks darker. Like maybe, yeah, bro, his face looks a lot thinner. See if I can make it just as big though. See it? I feel like his face looks thinner. I don't know. I mean, I know it's a different angle. But like even this thing right here on his nose is like hella different than right here. And I mean, I can't even pull that up because y'all are going to see pictures of my damn kids if I pull that up. Hold on a second. Let me pull up the one that I always use on the thing. Because that little hook thing they have on his nose is not reality, broski. He's not the Wicked Witch of the West. I don't understand what the frick's going on with his face. I used that side profile picture of him from a long time ago because it works well with pretty much everything. I've just kept using that in the one picture of them constantly because it just works. And that hook thing is not there. So it's just like an extreme angle, I guess. Where is this thing? I don't know. I just know that I'm going to pull it up. I'm just talking while I'm doing this. I just know that in Delphi, when it came to there it is. When it came to the bridge guy video. Yeah, bro, he ain't got no freaking hook like that on his face. When it came to the bridge guy video, everyone was like, where's this video that we saw and why is everything so different now that we're in court? So it really is not. Look, there is no crazy ass hook on that boy's nose. Are you trying to tell me this freaking hook nose from the freaking Wizard of Oz is the same freaking nose right here? Is that what they're trying to tell me? That doesn't make sense. It's photoshopped, which we already knew. I know. I really feel like it's going to end up coming out and it's going to look completely different whenever it comes to court. I mean, you can totally move on to a different channel because I'm going to talk about whatever the frick I want to talk about. And if I feel like the state submitted a photo that's photoshopped and filtered, then I'm going to freaking talk about it. Okay. That's what's going to happen. But yeah, I just feel like we just don't really know what they're going to end up actually showing us whenever it comes to trial. And see, that's another thing. The whole thing where they're talking about the eating preference problem. I guess that's what I'll call it. Eating preference problem. That's not technically verifying the whole like vegan thing. That's just verifying some stuff from back whenever he was a kid too. So I don't really know if that's proof of the vegan situation. I know some people were trying to like figure that part out, but I just don't know.
And we'll talk to the mother whose daughter was supposed to be staying in the house the night of the murders, but a change of plans may have saved her daughter's life.
How soon was it that you thought, my God, she was going to be there?
I didn't think about that right away.
Huh.
All I could think about was the kids.
Now, I mentioned this too. She did an interview with Maddie's mom, and we talked about it. So there's a video. If you go to the video where I talked about this, actually, there's a link in the description box for that one where we talked about the interview that they did. It was really strange too because it was a decent interview. We didn't have really anything bad to say about it, but it was just really odd the way that this woman right here, whenever Kaylee and Maddie's friendship was brought up, she would just like make a face and act like really strange. And I know that they have like the I think the Kindness Foundation or whatever that they did for Maddie and Kaylee. But I don't remember if Kaylee and Maddie's moms have ever come out and done anything together. Have we ever seen them do anything together? Yeah, have we ever seen Christy and Maddie's mom come out and do stuff like an interview together or anything? Yeah, and that's another thing that's insane too, because the Consolveses have been pushing the whole like best friend thing, which they were best friends, but they also have been pushing this situation right here for like a super long time, that these two were actually best friends. Because I make a mention of that too, and I'm like, okay, well, whenever it was mentioned that way on the Today Show in the interview, it made this mom like feel really uncomfortable, and she would, make a face. So I don't know. Yeah, I've never seen them do anything together. Yeah, because they act as if like, Maddie was their other daughter. So why haven't they ever like come out and done a speech together or done a talk show together or anything? This picture was taken at one of the apartment buildings next door, is what we were told. There is a girl in one of the documentaries. I cannot remember her name. I can't remember her name. She had long black hair. Not a white girl. I don't know what's politically appropriate to call her because I don't know her actual heritage, but she's not a white chick. Her people hail from very far away. I don't know how to freaking say it. Anyway, she lives next door, and she was in one of the things, and she said that they were all over there and they were all just hanging out, and it was like earlier on in the afternoon. But see, this is where we see Xana wearing all black. So then I question, like, did Xana just like not change her outfit the entire time? Because Bethany is claiming, or at least the cops have told us, that Bethany apparently saw Xana and Ethan both at the frat party between 8 and 9 p.m. But now we know that after 2 p.m. they still weren't home. But we do have Jeff Kernodle coming out and saying that she told him that they were home. So I really do feel, especially since me and Heather sort of like collectively were able to find everything. Well, Conspiracy had the Venmo stuff, and then we were able to put a bunch of stuff together and pretty much sort of came to the conclusion that them ordering pizza around midnight is a hella possibility and goes along with some of the things that apparently Jeff said. Now, I could not find myself the interview where he specifically mentioned pizza, but he did say that she said that they were at home. The pizza stuff is something that Kara came out and said in an interview, I believe, but I never could find the one where Jeff himself said it, but it could have very well have been stuff that was said between the two of them. Totally possible. I wasn't there. I can't say either or, but we did find, again, Conspiracy had the Venmo transactions, a bunch of them from before anything ever, but including one between Xana and Ethan with a pizza emoji. So then we had the pizza boxes behind the house, and then Heather went into the Linda Lane footage and was able to find one of the pieces show a car that comes in and sort of like turns around, and it looks like it has like the Domino's pizza light up hump thingy-mabobber on the top of it. So that really sort of, lined up too. And considering the fact that the frat party was just like within walking distance, if the fight had happened already, like between the two of them, or at least the original altercation, whatever got everything originally heated up had already happened, which is how it's apparently being told. And that's the reason why they were home early, was because that had already taken place, that had already began to heat up. They probably were home around midnight, and they probably did order pizza, and they probably were planning on staying in, but something else might have drawn them out. Which is why after 2:00, whenever Dylan and the other girls were all in Kaylee's room talking about possibly going out and getting food, or at least that's the story. They haven't shown us any proof of that. That's just the freaking story. Because those text messages that they're telling us between Dylan and Eric don't say shit about food. I'm just saying. None of it makes sense. Yeah, when it comes to the hair, it's my assumption that whenever Maddie went to go put her hand up to her neck, that she must have had or caught a piece of Dylan's hair on the way up, and the camera caught the picture right as the hair was starting to fall back down and just happened to strangely catch it like that. So yeah. The moms of Madison Mogen and Kaylee Goncalves attending park bench dedication ceremony honoring the two, along with, yeah, that's something that was dedicated to them from the city, but they've never come together and done anything like in public together. I mean, I guess I just maybe expect it more, I guess. So I don't know. But yeah, if she was still wearing all black, like all those hours later, whenever this picture was taken, like way earlier on in the day. Now I wear a lot of black, so I guess she could have changed and still have been wearing all black. But if I think now that it's a big possibility that if Dylan really was, in the most innocent of senses, just completely out of her freaking mind, drunk and can't see an again, it's a possibility that whatever she saw was not taller than her because she's too drunk to really freaking know for sure. And it's very possible that it could have been Xana because whatever she did see was, majorly black. It's a huge possibility, especially since now we're being told that she saw Xana on the floor. It's widely possible. We don't really know exactly what she actually saw and what she didn't. And the fact that they know already all of this, and they think that through all of this blurriness and not being able to tell the difference between reality and a dream, that she knows that something was specifically 3 feet away from her. That shit's hilarious to me. That shit's hilarious to me. What happened? Who's he? What? Thank you for the $199. He meant there is a Dateline podcast previewing it. Yeah, this is what I'm looking at right now. It says Maddie Target struggle upstairs. Xana ran up. That's not what this part says. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? We're watching the Dateline review video right here. The little thing that they posted today. They didn't say none of that stuff in this one. So I don't know. This is what this is right now.
Sorry.
So many damaged families. Angela DeVejos told us that her daughter Ashlyn, Maddie Mogen's best friend, moved away from Idaho and now refuses to come home to visit because...
See, I find that strange. I said this in my review video too. If y'all are all so sure that Bryan Kohberger is the right guy, then why won't you come home and see your parents? That seems a little wild.
Of the trauma associated with the murders. She's hoping some of that may change and Ashlyn will start to grieve after Bryan Kohberger's trial. Back to you, Greg and Savannah.
Such a heartbreaking story, Keith. Thank you. And we know we'll have more.
Yeah, see, I just don't even know. It's just a lot. I mean, that's why I'm like, is that why they are like, I mean, do we really hear about Dylan being hesitant? I don't really think we do. We just hear that she's ridiculous. We hear that she's drunk as hell and she can't keep her story straight. And she's very, just a little wild and, lots of questionable things there because, apparently there's signs of a cleanup and there was no blood outside the house. Nothing was ever found. There were so many questions and all this unknown stuff and just not enough things. And 8 hours and not sleeping and social media and taking photos and editing them and then deleting them after doing other things like being on Snapchat and Instagram and, text messaging and phone calls. And it's just freaking shady. And if these were dudes, they wouldn't be out of jail. They would have probably been held the entire time until they could prove that they actually belonged out of there. They would have been held. There ain't no way. There ain't no way. And so I'm thinking is that the reason why? Because they know damn well they're in trouble? Because is there some sort of proof that a life could have been saved if somebody would have acted? Because Now we know that Dylan actually did see Xana in that hour, and there's more than just the knowledge that they were awake. There's knowledge of the fact that she had eyes on her. And that right there is what changed the whole story, because door closed where? Door closed where? I just don't understand. I just don't understand. I don't understand how we're supposed to try to figure out exactly what happened here whenever the people that are out here telling us the story keeps changing the story, and they're not taking responsibility for the fact that they came out here and told us something that wasn't true. That door being shut was a big part of that entire thing. Like, such a big part of that entire thing. It doesn't even make any sense that all of a sudden, nothing about a door, but oh, let's add a knife being grabbed out of the kitchen before Hunter walked towards Xana's door and saw what needed to be seen. It's just wild. I want to know how they have his phone records. We're in a gag order. And again, I don't see how or on which planet, even before the gag order, because that's just barely any time. I know damn well that the feds had a lot of information on him before 12/19. I'm not ignorant to that. I knew that like way early on, because they're not going to give them an answer without them already like knowing about it beforehand. That's not how it works. So I was just trying to figure out like the timeline really like before the 19th, how long did they really have? And we've been able to sort of narrow that down a little bit, especially since we know now that Othram had found that like distant relative family of 4 brothers or whatever, and then everything got switched over on the 10th. So we have anywhere between the 10th and technically the 15th whenever the Indiana stops happened. They might have not known crap about him at all until like an hour before the Indiana stops. The FBI can move quick. If they know who they're looking for, they put a bolo out across the country. They probably could have flagged his damn plate within 5 minutes of putting it out just because he happened to be driving on the highway. It literally could have happened just like that. They might have not known anything about him until they had some more information from the IGG stuff as late as 5 minutes before the first Indiana stop. We don't know. Possible, though. Very possible. I mean, I know Hippler says the gag order is still in full effect, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to be really difficult for people to understand how much of this could be fake because of that damn video that they have out of the car. That's the issue with this, because they're going to take it because of this. Holy shit, this is a legit video situation. And everyone is just going to believe that everything after that's real. Even though so much of the shit that was said in there has already been proven not to be true. And what has been going on this whole time? How many people have done documentaries on this? And the Consolves have come out on those documentaries, or the information is being talked about from their sources about the whole Instagram and social media thing. And they have to put a disclaimer on their own screens that they cannot substantiate these claims. So how is Dateline doing that all of a sudden? How is Dateline doing that all of a sudden? Phone records. And apparently photos and videos. And it's crazy to me too that like Steve came out here and was talking about like all the apps and stuff that he had on his phone. And now all of a sudden we have all this stuff from Bryan's phone in a video that we know that Steve has already admitted to having now showing up on Dateline. Is that not magical? Is it not magical? Yes, William. Yes, it is. Why can't Dateline find out the contact DM added at 3:51 a.m.? Since Hippler wants to just pass right over that, I agree that it does seem a lot more relevant to the crime, doesn't it, William? I agree. Especially since, again, Hippler wants to always glance right over it. Home Trick went to bed at 3:20 and was woken up by all the trauma at 4-something in the morning. No, she wasn't. And he's writing it in his document like that. So they're not only red pilling, no, other way around, stupid. They're not only blue pilling the IGG, but they're blue pilling Dylan. Isn't that insane? Super magical. They are blue pilling Dylan. Freaking insane. The fact that they can just get away with this stuff is insane too. I know. Tells us who it was, but then again, like, I'm going to look like an asshole because I'm pointing out the Consolves again because, oh my God, I just hate them so much. No, I'm pointing out the shit that's very obvious, bro. You think I want to see it like this? I don't want to see it like this, but I know it's a freaking fact that Steve had that damn video. I know it's a freaking fact that this is the exact same narrative that he's been pushing forever, and I know the timing because I pay attention to what they do. I just happen to know the details. It's not like I'm trying to purposely put it on them. That's just what the frick it looks like, and I'm not the only one who feels it either. It's a fact. There you go. Exactly. Jesus. I'm not trying to like always look at them for something shady, but damn, like it just happens. Nothing we can do about it. This is what it is. Oh, the rumor is that he's seeing a Catholic priest in jail. See, I don't know. Did they release some information early on Spotify in podcast form? No way, Adam. Thank you for the $1.99 again. Let me look and see. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, I found it, but I don't know if I can play this on YouTube because this is now a cross-platform situation. So this is what it looks like. It was this. I sent y'all the link for this. It plays. Or at least it should play without signing in. Oh.
What if you could turn your curiosity for truth?
Yeah. So you don't have to log in. It plays, it's 29 minutes. So I guess this is like a preview for the episode, or is their episode only going to be 29 minutes? Because this isn't supposed to come out until Friday night. Dateline doesn't say one word about Cyrus. See, I don't know if I can play this, y'all.
True crime into the U.S. Capital One. What's in your wall?
They believe the fire was set. This is in this house.
Latest on the prosecution's house in downtown Manhattan, Keith Morrison and day that the students had been fatally student Bryan Kohberger, and the family's painful wait for answers. Kohberger's trial is set to begin in 12 weeks, and the judge has entered a not guilty plea on his behalf.
On his behalf, yeah.
Now, Keith is back with Dateline's latest reporting on the case. From never before publicly seen security footage.
Why do they have it?
To exclusive interviews with people who crossed paths with Kohberger. It's the kind of insight you won't find anywhere else. Keith and
I need true info.
Xana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin.
Two of them were about ready to spring into the world, just about almost finished with their studies.
Mm-hmm.
Two were not quite so far along. All were, lauded by their families and by their parents as responsible kids who were nevertheless, going to college and having.
Yeah, I'll listen to this and come out and do a video if there's any additional information, but I don't want to play like all 30 minutes of this. And then they like
college students as well.
Shane, there's always been a question about whether the killer was targeting one of the students.
Because I don't want to listen to it like particular every few seconds.
What did you?
I don't know how cross-platform stuff works. Like, I'm not going to pretend like I know shit about shit. I don't know how cross-platform stuff works. I don't know how. Like, unless I download this and do like all the things I normally do. Like, if I ever take anything off of iHeart or off of anything, I pull the audio, I edit it out, like all of the ads, I edit out all the oohs, the ums, I get straight to the point. I let you guys know that it's edited, and I usually have like my own little like thing on the screen because I'm really careful about using other people's stuff. Really careful. So I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to listen to it myself. Maybe not do a video if there's anything else because they're like on my nerves. Plus the thing is coming out tomorrow night. So if I hear anything, I'll maybe just do like a community post. That's probably what I'll do. Because this also has stuff about Karen Reed and Diddy, and I don't want to hear all that boo-boo either. So I feel like it's probably just the same information that we probably already listened to from like their full segment that they played earlier, and it probably actually doesn't have anything different, but I'll run through it really quick, maybe tonight or in the morning before I clock into work and see if it says anything different. Yeah, I saw the thing with the Pope. I don't really follow that stuff, but yeah, I saw some of it on Twitter. It is under the gag order. It's still under the gag order. Because we know that footage is legit footage. We know it's legit footage. So yeah. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. If anything else like drops tomorrow, then I'll let you guys know about that like I always do, but I really am going to try to just like figure out a way to like just live react to you guys as I'm watching this or as we're all sort of like watching this. I just don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to like watch it at the 8 Central whenever it drops. I don't know how the apps or how like the streaming stuff on the website or any of that stuff works. So I'll figure that out. But it would be interesting to know the rest of this. Because again, it's really difficult to sit here and act like I'm not intrigued by what they're doing because that's legitimate footage. This shit is the insanest shit ever. Okay, yeah. We're just going to have to figure out how we react to all this shit together tomorrow night. But yeah, I'm going to go watch some Grey's Anatomy so I can lay down. You'll have a great night. Thank you so much for all the super stickers, the super chats, all of the memberships, all of the gifted memberships. Thank you so much for spending some time with me this evening. Let me go ahead and run these little outro things. Please not forget to leave a like on your way out. Please not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. Okay. See y'all.